There we go. All right. Finally, sorry, we had to make a fashionably late entrance. What's happening, Fish and Friends? Welcome to another live, a little Halloween inspired live. I was looking beforehand trying to find some fun bass fishing trivia we could kind of mix in with some Halloween stuff. I didn't find a bunch of like exactly bass fishing stuff, but I found some fun random fishing stuff. So if you're looking to just be in the live and only get like bass fishing knowledge and like a very strict subject tonight, that's not the case. Well, there's probably going to be some Halloween talk. I did also make a few specific lures for the giveaway. So this is a crackled candy corn, white, orange, then the
Mm,
yellow. Then it's got the alternating crackle colors
looks
underneath. We'll give away one of
delicious.
those. I did the jack-o'-lantern. So this is a
Nice.
bloody jack-o'-lantern. Looks like the inside's glowing there, like it's a lit up jack-o'-lantern. That one's ready to go, and it's got kind of the cool color changey, weird eyes. And last, my favorite was the mummy, the wrapped mummy. This was the bloody bone wrapped mummy. I don't know. I thought this one turned out pretty fun. My first time ever trying to do like a mummy wrap. So I don't know. I thought they looked cool. So we'll do some giveaways of those. This one still needs a clear coat too. That's why it's on the little holder deal there. But yeah, we'll do
Spray
some
ya.
giveaways. We'll do some fun stuff. Who knows? Who knows what we'll be doing? I was gonna dress up. I was going to dress up as Randy, but I was actually at my parents'. We watched the Iowa game. I just got home like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. So I had to run grab a drink, do the things and the stuff. But Randall, how was your day, feller?
Um, it was eventful. I ran around, did some things, did some stuff. I'm all like, I feel like I'm spring cleaning right now, but I'm not really spring because obviously it's not spring. But I feel like I'm just doing like a lot of organizing that I didn't do while, summer was here.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
adult
I
stuff.
I dig that. I dig that. I need to do some fishing spring cleaning, get crap cleaned up. I'm gonna have to get another. You can see the rods back here. Need to get another rod holder and like get all these organized and stuff because over here's like boxes and it's a mess. I need to. I say that every week and I still haven't done it. But
On a
anyway,
positive note, I got
yeah.
all of my lure situation cleaned up. Everything's done. It's cleaned. It's organized-ish. It's all done.
Boom.
I can't
I
do
love it.
anymore, or I'm not gonna do anymore. And
Or
then I come across bags of lures, and I'm like, no, my God, no.
well, the fun thing is, I think what we should do is go over some Halloween stuff. So, Fish Daddy Arthur, shout out to him. He's my Bluetooth sponsored guy. Hooked me up with that. Otherwise, I'd have had no idea what the hell to get. He asked, and I'm even going to widen it and just say favorite Halloween candy. Doesn't have to be for a boat snack because maybe you don't want it to melt or whatever.
Mm.
Favorite Halloween candy. What's yours?
Does
Mine.
it have to
I'm
be
pretty.
Halloween specific?
No,
Like
I
you
mean,
only get it around Halloween, or
no, just like what's your favorite? Like if you went trick or treating now, what is your favorite candy that you look forward to seeing in your little trick or treat pumpkin, Randall?
oh, buddy. Um,
I'm a Snickers guy, man. I'm pretty boring. I like
ooh,
Snickers. I like Reese's. Those are probably my top two that I pick out and eat first.
how do you feel about that Snickers peanut butter thing? You like that or no?
I haven't had like the yellow one in the yellow package with like the two little
Yeah,
square peanut butter things. Yeah, those are good.
yeah.
I'll eat
They're
those.
those are pretty
Absolutely.
awesome. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm going Twix.
Really? Not a
I
huge
like
like
myself a
caramel
Twix.
guy. Like just a little bit of caramel. I know they're in Snickers, but like I don't know. I feel like the Twix is too much caramel. I don't really like
Um,
caramel.
I also actually really enjoy a toffee, like a Heath or a
Hmm.
whatever, a Score, a Heath or a Score bar. Delicious.
Okay. Randall's aging himself. We now know he's about 68. Werther's.
Maybe.
Don't you like Werther's originals too? Aren't those one of your
Werther's
favorites?
Originals, yes. I keep a pocket full of them. Just saying.
Oh, Randall. Let's
You know, a
see. Well,
hard
we got
candy.
a bunch of
Ooh,
members.
I gotta say, along those Werther's lines, um, those little strawberry things, the hard strawberry candies. It's in
Oh,
a little strawberry. wrapper and you open it up and it's got like the stuff and
Gross. The worst Halloween candy is those stupid brown and orange things that shouldn't be sold. They're like peanut butter, like taffy or whatever the hell they are. Ugh,
the hard
absolutely
things.
disgusting. No, they're not hard. They're like chewy things. They're disgusting. Well,
No,
nobody should make them.
The worst Halloween candy anything is anything black licorice. So
I like black licorice.
you're
I like both
gross.
licorices.
We're not friends anymore.
Rob Harrison, wish I could be there the whole night, but he's hanging out with some friends. Yeah, I didn't know if we'd have too many people with it being Halloween, if people were going to be out at parties or hanging out with the kiddos, trick or treating, depending on when it is. But hey, we're still here to have fun. We'll talk some fishing. We'll get a little off subject. But members, so Rob's a member. All the members out there, like Miss Caro, Dustin, Alabama's Worst, Chris, G-Fan, Nick, all those guys, Patrick. I appreciate all of you. And Zen Aquatics, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you're like an actual aquatics person. I don't know if Frank is in here. Frank is my local aquatic guy. I haven't seen his name yet as I'm scrolling through, but that's cool if you are. I'm into to tank stuff after I got old Fudge Stripe set up. He's doing well. He's a little beast. I was feeding him like the little wax worms the other day and just putting them in.
Yeah.
He jumped up and like grabbed onto my finger and held on for a second. And was like, oh, okay, that's not the worm. He's cool as hell. He's a funny little dude.
What happens if he like lives to be 38 or something?
I hope he does, dude. Oh,
Like,
there's
he just
Frank.
You got to get a bigger tank, the whole nine, because he's just a monster. And like the next thing you know,
I
you're
hope
like
so.
throwing T-bones in.
He turns into a piranha, has teeth. Everybody's going over their favorite candies. It's pretty fun to see all of them. I'm liking some of these. Some of these I'm like, I like that. Oh,
Milk
love them
duds.
strawberry
Ooh,
nasty goodies. Gross.
dots. I
Milk
gotta love
duds.
myself some
Gross.
dots. The Swedish fish are really amazing also.
Dizzle
Ooh,
taking loose pocket hard candy fishing.
the Albanese gummy worms, gummy bears. Man, if you're into gummies, check out Albanese if you haven't already. Those
No,
are
I'm not a
fire.
gummies guy. No, not a gummies fan. Ooh, any plans for a saltwater tank? Mr. Higgs says no. I love the freshwater setup that I've got. I might try to get a bigger one because the problem is now with tank testing lures in it, old Fudge Stripe is an absolute beast and attacks anything that goes in there. So I don't know how much I'll be able to tank test. But if I get a bigger tank for him, I might make that little one like a little, I don't know, maintenance tank or something and use it for that. I don't know. We'll see. Illuminathan, Iowa 4-4, but how about them Buckeyes? Yeah, Buckeyes have an awesome team this year, man. Hawks got to win though. I'll take it however they can get it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just kind of stuck on this candy topic. There's been more than 100 grands pop up out there. I'm a fan of 100 grand. Have you ever had
Not
one?
a fan of 100 grand. No. Ooh, Zen Aquatics, almost 400 gallons between all my tanks. That better to watching TV, dude. That's awesome. I just got on because of the whole tank stuff. I got on this guy called, I don't know how his YouTube thing like ever even came up. I'm sure I was looking up tank stuff. I think I was looking up like green sunfish care and seeing if anybody had stuff for it. But for anybody into fish tank stuff, do you ever watch Aquarium Co-op? This guy's pretty funny. Him and like this other dude. I went down that rabbit hole the other night. So now I watch aquarium stuff before I go to bed.
What was that one show? There was a TV show that was like Pimp My Aquarium Tank or something like that.
What?
Yeah, they did like
I don't know about that
super
one.
expensive. Like they did who's Tracy
See, we got
Morgan.
some
You know,
aquarium
the
co-ops
comedian
in here.
Tracy Morgan?
Oh, Tanked. That show called
Tanked, yeah.
Tanked. Yeah, we'd watch that when it was on here and there.
Tracy Morgan is a big fish tank guy. I never would have guessed it.
Let's see. Let's get into. So we've got some Halloween trivia as we're going through here. If you're just joining, we've got almost 200 people, which is awesome. We're going to be doing some giveaways tonight. I painted up a bunch of the Do It molds. Their topwater walking bait that I love. Used it this year and tested it thoroughly. And painted up some of these goodies. We got the wrapped up mummy. We got the lit up jack-o'-lantern, and then some crackle candy corn. You can't really see it. It's kind of bright, but it is white, orange, and then your yellow candy corn. So some pretty cool little giveaways, I think. Obviously, I'm a little bit jaded because I painted them, so I take pride in that.
Hey,
But
so
we're gonna get into some fish trivia here. This is nothing too serious. We're just gonna throw some stuff out. Randall, are we fishing tomorrow? What are your plans tomorrow? Are we gonna do some fishing?
I don't know. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe some. I'm thinking first question, and this is not a trivia question. I'm getting the trivia stuff brought up. If you could only have one lure for the rest of the fall right now, and I already know what yours is going to be. I don't even know why I'm asking, but something for everybody else to think right now, depending on where you're at. If you can only have one lure for the rest of fall, what would you pick and why? Now, I lead off with this because today I set out to do a jig squads in here. What's up, Kuda? Basilisk Chap, Ruben, all kinds of people hanging out with us tonight. Nick is in here. So if you can only have one, and the reason I say this is because I set out to do a monster bass, not really like a slam or whatever the hell the guys call it. Oh, Fishing from Brazil is in here too. Got to meet and talk with him on his podcast a while back. Awesome cat. Awesome to get his perspective fishing down there in Brazil. Okay, so we've got, they're all flying in here. Now, the reason I say this, we got the lipless, we got swim jigs, spinner baits, jerk bait, mini max. Now, the reason I asked this is I set out to do this mega bass monster bass challenge, and the only lure I got a bite on, I had like a little paddle tail, I had an underspin, chatterbait, but it was the drop shot that caught me 3 fish today, and I only had like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, a little over 2 hours to fish before I headed home to my parents' house. I know, dude. I know. I set it up. It was in the box. It was. Do I still have it in my pocket? No, I had the little plastic. It's the X Zone.
Hey,
hey,
real quick here. Hold on. You know how everybody was like, "Oh, Dizzle's hat's on the wrong way." Everybody needs to be concerned about Debo right now because he is saying he actively went out of his way and threw a drop shot.
I did.
Everybody pray for Debo.
I know, dude. Dire straits, dire times. But I was thinking, man, if I could have got bites on this today, that would have been awesome. But it kind of popped in my head, like, what has it been in the past? What's like this time of year? What's been my go-to bait? So that, I don't know, kind of begs the question. If you could only have one for the rest of the year, are you confident enough in one lure to catch only fish on that for the rest of this year? I know it's different depending on where you're at. Illuminathan jerkbait has to be up there for me too. Like a suspending jerkbait, dude. Spinner bait, but I feel like, dude, the fish around here have wanted nothing moving lately. Like it has been.
Yeah, it's been really just kind of slow pop.
It's low 50s. I mean, it's like 51, I think, is what it was today in the little pond. And I noticed the backside of it was warmer too. I saw a bunch of fish shallow, just kind of cruising back and forth because it was so warm. I don't know, man. Obviously, it depends on where you're fishing, but I don't know. Kind of a fun question, I thought.
I have no idea.
In here.
Gramps says a frog. He wants a frog for the rest of the.
Yeah, Gramps says he would only fish the frog. Okay. TJ, I see. Hey, TJ. So it must be a TJ. Oh, there he is. TJ sighting. What's up, Jim? Make sure you go follow Jim and Jig Squad. Tackle Junkie. Mike Vogel in the house. Nedrig, despite hating it, I know I'll be able to catch fish on it. Yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah.
Make sure you go give Gramps a follow. Robo-worm drop shot right there.
Throw a jackhammer for sure.
No clue. Square bill. Yeah, like I said, depends on where you're at. Super muddy water, just completely depends. The new Google. Well, we got to get our Google questions in for the week.
Just saw that, and I was going to look it up.
The new Guggen Wacky Tail looks pretty good. I've never heard of it. You have to tell us what it is, Randall. Let's see.
Wacky tail.
Broke a rod on the first fish today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Kale. I have broken a few rods. It's never fun. Drop shot is Debo's safe word, says Frank. That would not be my safe word. How did you like that X Zone Ned? I like the X Zone Ned. This year I have almost exclusively, well, I shouldn't say exclusively. I've tried to test out the bigger Nico Ned more, the 4.25 inch one. I love it. I think you can Nico rig that. I was throwing it on a EWG Ned head. I mean, heck, you could probably drop shot that. It's a shaky head. I love that thing, the bigger one. The smaller ones are nice too. I feel like there's so many baits in like that range. I don't know. I think that longer one you can just do so much with. I mean, you could even cut it down really and make it, short like that other one. But okay, so let's see. Brian Lee with the question. We get this question kind of I don't know, every few lives we'll say $500 reel on a $50 rod or a $50 reel on a $500 rod. It's always kind of the same thing for me. Like most of the reaction baits out there, like, so your top waters, most of the moving baits, you don't really need a super sensitive rod with, depending on the bite. But I'm generally going to go with a less expensive rod for those type of applications. And I'm going to go with a more expensive rod, the $500 rod on things like Ned rig, shaky head, Texas rig, jig, things where I'm dragging it, things where I need to feel that bite. I know like last weekend I was kind of going in both directions. I had the SLX on one, the rod, $100 rod versus the Dobbins Extreme HP or whatever. It's like a $300 something rod. And I could definitely feel a difference in sensitivity. Now, once you get up into like, let's say you get up 150, 200, that sensitivity does kind of fall off. But yeah, that Dobbins was more sensitive. I keep wanting to say more sensitive than.
That's a word.
Well, I was going to say expensive and sensitive. It is more expensive, also more sensitive. But anyway, I do like the SLX rod. It wasn't as sensitive, but again, there's a lot of things where you could use that for where you just don't need that kind of crazy sensitivity. So that's kind of where I stand on that. Randall, I don't know about you.
Yeah, I at first I was like, oh, hands down, 100%, I'm going a better reel than a better rod. But then I start thinking about it because you want to get those. When are we fishing? Is it this time of year? I mean, obviously I'm throwing a jig. I'll probably try to catch them on anything, regardless if it's like a super expensive rod or like a broomstick. I'm going to try to do it. But I think I'm going expensive reel over expensive rod because I've battled with those reels that are less than high quality, and it's like you're picking out backlatches.
That's really true.
Your drag is slipping the whole nine, and if I can feel it just a little bit, or if I can watch my line, there's more that goes into it. God, that's a hard question. I think I'm gonna. If it's this time of year, I'm changing my answer to cheap reel, expensive rod.
That's a tough one, especially with a $50 reel. Some of the $50 reels out there are a little sketch, but
yeah.
Fishing for potatoes. This is funny how, different people can be. You said, I know I'm going to get roasted, but drop shot would be my go-to. Caught trout on it too. That's a cool thing about fishing, man. Everybody has their own way of doing it, and you can fish completely different things and both have success. So, let's see. So I'm gonna try to answer questions in here too. If there's fun questions that come up, I'm kind of skimming through some of these. Let's see. People talking about the rod and reel combos, which one they would do. Oh, MV. I don't even know how you say that. I'm going to call you M1976. Showing my weekly support. Catch the show tomorrow on replay. Keep it up, Debo and Dizzle. It's worth the donation on here. Debo, try and say my last name. Oh my gosh, dude. I don't even know like what background that would be. I don't even know. Vieira. I know that's probably slaughtered. Sure. I don't know. I appreciate the support, man. Sorry I can't say your name. The funny thing is, though, I've worked with people so the job I'm at, I work for an insurance place, an operations manager, and I have done that job worked in our department for like, I just have my 14-year anniversary total. So like 10 years. And I still to this day have people that I've worked with forever consistently call me Christian, which is my last name. They'll be like, "Hi, Christian. Do you know if we can blah, blah, blah?" And I'm like, I've worked with these people for so long and it cracks me up. So what I was saying with that is I may not be able to pronounce your last name, but I know the funniness of it because I get called my last name all the time. So what do you do?
So here's the deal. I've been looking for any new Guggen. I know there was a video that came out that was about Guggen lures. They had like a micro, not a micro, but a mini like paddle tail.
I do remember seeing they had like crappie lures or something. There was like 3 or 4
Yeah,
minis or something came out.
there's a few different crappie lures. I'm looking. I haven't been able to see. I don't see anything on here, so I don't know who asked that question, but I haven't seen anything about it.
Here's a good one. Cave Clown. What about graphite versus fiberglass? So the thing that's changed so much in fiberglass is back in the day, I used to throw fiberglass rods, quite a bit because that's what Dad had. But the thing was, they were like big, they were heavy, they were not good. I mean, we fished with them, but like compared to a graphite rod of now, even like the less expensive, like a $50 graphite rod is leaps and bounds better than some expensive glass rod from then. The big difference though is there's a bend and there's a taper and action in a fiberglass that is just extremely hard to replicate in graphite. So that's why you have so many of the chatterbait anglers, really a lot of the moving baits you can throw on, but specifically chatterbaits, because they say that 8 times out of 10, the fish always eats a chatterbait from behind, whereas a lot of other lures, it tends to hit it from the side, or for whatever reason, they say chatterbait fish almost always hit it from behind. So as you're casting that out, you're pulling it, you're reeling it in. The thing with a glass rod or a composite rod, which is a mix of both, allows that fish to get it and start to load up before you feel it and react and pull into it. Some people hate that type of rods. I think Jacob Wheeler was talking about, I don't know what the big, hoopla is about glass rods. I fish my chatterbait on a graphite. I catch just as many fish. Then there's other people, on the complete other end of the spectrum. What's his name? Brett Height, completely glass composite guy. So that's like, I actually picked up one of the TFO rods, which is a composite, a 40-60 glass to graphite. And it's kind of the best of both worlds. So really cranking, anything where you want like a really parabolic, really soft rod that just loads and absorbs. Like the best way I can explain it is when you cast your lure into like a green tree, like a fresh green tree with like one little branch that's out hanging. And you're literally doing everything you can, pulling, and that branch just like keeps bending. You can't break it. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you were to throw like your lure into a tree with an old dead branch, you can just pull it and break it, right? There's no give. So it's not, obviously that stark of a difference, but like that's the big thing of glass is it just bends and bends and bends and bends and absorbs and loads. So
GFan 827 has a pretty good question, and I'm still kind of scratching my head since I've seen it, not knowing how to answer it. But as far as the graphite question, I don't know. I don't really. I'm not one of those guys that pays a whole lot of attention to it, and I just go out and fish what feels good. Just me.
That's what I said. There's no right way to fish. Basilisk Chap, that's a good question. Jig or lipless? Right now, this time of year for me, I like to have both. I like to be able to cover water with some sort of moving bait and then, hit those spots with the jig, rocks, lay downs, anything like that, and just really slow crawl that jig or Ned rig, whatever bait you're using that way. But I like both. That's a tough one if I only had to choose one. What time did you say GFans was?
827.
It's a lipless, but you take the front treble hook off and you put a jig on it instead.
Yeah, and then you just like whittle it down until it's a jig, and then you just throw a jig instead.
Ooh, David, Debo, did you and Dizzle have the fishing challenge you mentioned last stream? Yes. Everybody, please go check out the last video. It was a ton of
Hmm.
fun. I kind of threw Randy under the bus a little bit for being late. Randy, I'm sorry. He bought
I
me a
haven't
more
even
knife.
I haven't watched it yet because
Oh, you
I
haven't
just
watched?
no, I'm boycotting it right now because I feel like it's all shenanigans. I feel like um I don't know. Shenanigans is what I'm saying. Shenanigans. There was never pre-assigned start times set. We just said we were going to meet at this time. We never said the challenge was starting then. You started before I did. There was traffic. I couldn't get there on time. I wasn't going to break the rules or laws, of the roadway to get there on time. So shenanigans. Asterisk.
Do you guys
Hi.
do you guys hear that in the did you hear? Oh yeah, that's the sound of excuses. That's what that is. Okay. Steve. Anyway, everybody go watch it. Blow that video up. I had a ton of fun editing. I cracked up like 3 or 4 times editing.
It
Um,
was fun.
there's a spot in there where I say karma gets back at me for because I'm kind of giving Randall crap at the beginning. I end up getting my own. Karma catches up to me. Randy bought me a nice Mora knife, which is pretty cool. I was telling Dad about it today. Yeah, anyway, it's a fun video. Go check it out after this. Go watch it. Everybody blow it up. Share it with your friends and family. Yeah, it was fun. But anyway, Steven, I still want to know what's your cheapest rod and reel you would actually recommend. Well, for rods, like I was saying before, I mean rods, you can go sub $100 rod and be completely fine. For instance, I don't have it in here, it's on my truck, but the Daiwa, is it Arid? Is that the name of that rod? It was a $50 rod. And I freaking love that thing. I mean, it's an awesome little rod. I was throwing lipless on it. I was throwing, let's see, let me bring up the old tackle warehouse here. Let me share. But I was throwing lipless on it. I was throwing a jerk bait on it. I used it for topwater during the summer. It's an awesome little rod. That one and the Arc Catalyst have been the two that I've used the most this year. Kind of in that budget price point. I got the Catalyst for like $35 on the Christmas sale. I think regular it's like 50, I want to say. Actually, let's just go to rods. Daiwa, and I think it's the Arid X. I did also get one of the new Tatula XTs to try out, $100 rod. It's a clean looking $100 rod. I like it so far. But it is I want to say Arid. I don't want to, oops, did I miss it? Elite. Oh my gosh, are they not selling it? Oh, there it is. Missed it. Sorry.
Oh, there it is. Right in front of your
So
face.
regular $54.99. Wait for a sale. You can get it for, I want to say I got mine for like $35. I got the 7-foot medium. The medium's pretty soft. It does really well with treble hook lures. I would say the 7-foot medium heavy if you're going to use like single hook type things, but that 7-foot medium, man, like I said, I was throwing little square bills on it, lipless, jerk baits, just a very good all around rod. So that's my number one, and not like in any order, just saying that's number one. And then Arc, which I hadn't been a fan of because of some of the customer service stuff I had been through, but I give kudos where kudos are due. And the catalyzer, sorry, I think I said catalyst before. Catalyzer has been another good one. I have the 7-foot medium heavy. So it's your medium heavy rated to 1 ounce. It's kind of a do it all fast action. It's not overly soft or anything. It's pretty right on with
What prices
fast.
were those at right there? Like 50
50,
bucks, something like that?
54 and 59, I think. I think the Arid was 54, if I remember right. Maybe they were both 59. But anyway, wait for a tackle warehouse sale or look elsewhere, wherever you like to shop, and try to find one. But I like both of those, man. As far as, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you.
I was just going to say, as far as reels, man, if you want a good budget reel, I would say like the $100 reel is the sweet spot where budget meets longevity. There's definitely reels. I use reels that are less than that. A graphite frame reel is fine for a lot of stuff. I just don't like it for hard hook setting things. Did I do casting reels? Yes. So, like for example, if you go to Lose and go with just like a regular LFS, I mean, they're made in Korea now, $99, aluminum frame. I think it's one of the best all around reels out there for the money at that $100 price point. And I'm not. It's not like I'm sponsored by them. I'm not. You know, I don't feel like I should have to defend myself that way. But so many people are like, oh, you say that you're sponsored by that. I'm not at all. I have nothing to do with them. But I like that reel. The other one I would say, as far as just a good budget, would be, and I don't know
What's
like,
your
if
what's
they're
your
going to keep,
budget price point you're talking about? Like
like as far as like a
same 50,
budget
100?
price point, yeah, I would say like $50 is like a good budget, like where you step up. Like you can find the Amazon reels for like $30 and stuff, but man, they
Yeah.
just don't hold up. I roasted a number of those. You know, like the gears will start to grind and click. There's been some that I've completely just torched where they don't even reel. Like, yeah. But this one though, this one is held strong. I fished it for topwater. I mainly used it for buzz baits, walking baits, ploppers, and it held up to all that. But again, I was fishing mono with it. I didn't have the drag lock completely down. I don't ever try not to ever do that on a graphite framed reel, just because there's torque. You can feel it, man. And if you've never fished an aluminum frame, you can feel it in some of those. But you know, if you're fishing mono, that helps because you've got some stretch in it. If you're fishing a softer rod, that helps because you know, something has to give in the system, right? So if you use braid where there's no stretch, use the stiffer rod where there's not a lot of bend, and you lock your drag down, something has to give in that whole exchange, right? So when you start setting the hook hard or fighting a larger fish, you know, that's where you'll start to notice issues with it. But yeah, I really like that one.
I was honestly gonna just take it a step back and go for my rod, the Vendetta casting rod. It's $60 on Tackle World.
Yep. Yeah, and I used a Vendetta for, oh, was it the Vendetta, the black and red?
You still hear me?
Yeah. Yep. Oh, did your earbuds die?
Yeah.
Sound kind of echoey now, but it's
I
okay.
was gonna
I can
say
hear you.
the Vendetta was one that I you know, kind of cut my teeth on for quite a while, and that was my
This is
go-to.
$90 though.
Which one?
The Vendetta.
I was looking at the.
Was it the Vengeance? Is that the? Oh, this one, the Vendetta. Yeah. $60 right now. This must be the older version or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an older version, but like I said, that was the one that I think I still have, you know, one or two, maybe. I don't know if I use them a whole lot.
Was this a 7.4 heavy? Did they make in this? Oh, they don't have any of them left. Okay, because it's the old version. I want to say it was a Vendetta that I used for frog, and I really liked it. I also had a Veritas, the $100 Veritas's. I've liked those. Yep. Actually, I even had a Vengeance way back in the day, but I sold it when I had done some trades and stuff. But even the Vengeance for moving stuff, actually, I've got a new Vengeance because I got that combo. And for moving stuff, this is an awesome rod. Like, you know, chatterbait, spinnerbait, stuff where you don't need crazy sensitivity. Mine's a 7 foot. Yeah,
I would figure, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, as far as reels, it's kind of hard because it's how the individual person fishes. And, you know, if they are, you know, like me, I don't ever use my thumb when I'm really casting a bait caster. I try not to. The crazy thing is, last weekend when we went fishing, it was blowing like, I don't know, 7,000 miles an hour. The wind was, and I still wasn't using my thumb on half the casts. And, you know, I just have those reels that I have set up a specific way that I don't need to. So,
yep.
I don't know. Yep. That one's a hard one to say.
Tennessee Bassmaster, have I tried any of the Mega Bass rods? I got my first Mega Bass rod used over at American Legacy. If you guys haven't checked them out, I know I've talked about them a lot. Gramps introduced me to them. I got my first Mega Bass. It's actually, I've got it back here. I've never used a single one of theirs.
Oh, he stands up.
Hey, take a drink. If I can find it, I don't know where I put it. Actually, I was going through stuff.
No, he lies. He stood up for nothing.
I don't know what oh, here it is. As I just broke the tip on the ceiling, probably. But I got the Mega Bass Levante. So I got this for quite a steal of a deal. It looks clean. The only thing I don't like about it, which my dad loves, and I didn't even notice this, is the tiny reel trigger deal here. When I put my finger there, I hate like the little tiny, I don't know. I like how this is like forward a little bit, the reel nut. So like my finger fits behind it, kind of under the reel. I just threw the Metanium on here. I had it on the other day, just kind of testing it out. Feels
Oh, I
good.
just
I
threw
wouldn't say it's like
Metanium on
my
here. No big
favorite
deal.
rod,
It's
but
whatever.
I don't know. I wanted to try it because I've had a bunch of people ask me about Mega Bass. I don't really know
Hey,
anything about their rods. So
what time are you at on your comments? Don't skip that G-Fan comment at 8:27. That's a,
I'm at
as the
8:28. I
kids
actually
say,
did skip it. Okay.
as the kids say, that's a banger.
G-Fan. Okay, let's see. What do we have? Oh, we're at 35 minutes. Let's get a giveaway rolling. What should we give away first? Randy, you pick. You pick the first one.
Metanium, do it. Go.
I'm not giving away a Metanium now. I'm basically poor now. I spent all my money on painting stuff
Metanium
and
giveaways.
Metanium giveaways
Do
and
the wrapped
$1,000
mummy
to
one.
ship to Canada 5 times.
The mummy
Which
one.
one?
Due to your fault. The mummy wrapped one.
Mummy? Okay, we're doing the mummy first one. So this was my try. You all let me know in the comments. I actually did 2 of these, so I'm gonna have one on sale on my site. Check out DEBO'S fishing.com. Is that my website? Hell, I don't even remember it.
I don't know. How do I know?
DEBO'sfishing.com, I think. But I did 2 of these, so I'll have one up on the website. I've actually got, I think, like 11 or 12 of these topwater walking baits ready to load up on there. So this is the one we're giving away here. I'll throw in a few extra lures and stuff with it, but it's a mummy wrap, red eyes. I'm just looking at the camera. I love that I can actually show stuff on the camera now and you can tell what it is. But this is the first one. So we'll do hashtag. Let me set it up. Don't anybody type anything in yet.
Hashtag Stubby's
Vulture's
pillow.
trying to guess it. hashtag. Okay, so here's a funny story while I'm typing this in.
Oh,
So the other night I was down here working and the girls and my wife had to go to Target for something and it was like awfully quiet. And I'm like, what the hell? Like I was yelling at them, like, what are you guys doing? Nothing. So I go upstairs and he had knocked over the trash again and had it strung all over the kitchen, all over into the living room. I was like, UMF. Like if I was so like, I couldn't even tell you how angry I was. I was like, curse words at him. And he like took off, was sitting on the landing. Like, keep in mind, I've never, ever hit that dog. I've never laid a hand on him, never will. Cause I love him so much. I wouldn't do that to any dog, but I was so angry. So I'm like, that's it. I'm doing it right now. So my wife gets home. She's like, what in the hell are you doing? But she finds me sitting on the floor, drilling holes in the wall, putting drywall anchors in, and making sure the trash can is secured to the wall now. So I have it secured on with these like little bungee strap looking deals, and I have these like little O-ring things that I screwed into the deals. I'm like, oh my, I'm sick of this because he's done it like 5 times, and he's like the best dog otherwise.
You know, it's always a bad deal when like you are used to a dog that is, you know, rambunctious, like going crazy, doing whatever, and then all of a sudden there's silence. You're like,
yeah, because it just clicked. I'm like, I don't hear anybody in the house. Like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, honey, what are you doing up there? Girls, what the hell? Did everybody just leave and not even tell me? I go up there and nobody's there. And I look and I'm like, dude, I couldn't believe it. Because he got like, we had stopped and got Culver's. So like my wife got like the shrimp stuff. So he had ate like all the shrimp stuff, lemons. He had ate popcorn. My daughter had like the rest of her popcorn. So he had like the popcorn holes and like, dude, freaking ate everything out of there. Had like paper plates tore up. Anyway, hashtag mummy for the giveaway. Sorry, funny stubby dog story. That's the mummy I painted up. First crack at it. Let me know if you guys like it. I'll have one more on the site if you want to purchase one, but try to do the layers and stuff. I think I've got better ways of doing it going forward. We'll see, but it was fun to try. Hopefully somebody will like it. I'll throw in some extra lures and stuff for you as well. We'll roll through a couple comments and look. Oh, G-Fan.
Let's get back to this G-Fan. Come on now. This is
okay. This or that. Teaching someone to fish who really wants to learn but just can't, or teach a quick learner who won't fish anymore. Teach someone to fish who really for sure the person who really wants to learn. Why would I teach somebody who won't fish anymore? I guess I don't know. Maybe that's a weird question.
There,
I'm trying to think of
there's no catch 22 of why am I, not that I would ever say why am I wasting my time on this person,
kind of,
but
yeah. Like, why would I teach them if they're saying they're not going to fish anymore? For sure, I would. If the person
yeah,
has the passion for it, I'm always like, when I used to teach jujitsu, I would coach some nights, and I'm like not a black belt or anything, and by all means, but I was pretty good, and I would coach, and I was always down to roll longer and spend more time one on one with the people who were like into it and wanted to learn. Versus if I was going over a move and showing people, and there's like four people over in the corner talking and doing something else, like, come
yeah,
on, you're here to learn.
chasing
Like, why are you
chasing
at class?
butterflies in the outfield.
Yeah, why are you here at class and like farting around? So I don't know. Yeah, I would definitely
Yeah,
try to spend more time with the person who wants to learn.
it's hard, man. That's
Can't
a
teach
really tough
passion.
one.
You can't teach passion.
Yep. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. You can't teach passion, but it's really hard to, dedicate yourself to, something that you know is not going to really ever come to anything.
Nick, I do. I like the XT a lot. Yeah, I like that rod quite a bit. Let's see. It's got to feel good in your hands. Yeah, I think we're back to talking about. Oh, we're talking, I think, about glass. Or that's how far I am behind. This is at 8:29. Holy crap! Almost 20 minutes behind on comments. I'm sorry, everyone.
Oh, geez.
Y'all go too quick. Y'all kick me in the old strawberries when it comes to comments. I cannot keep up. Lost in tackle. Is there a wrong way to fish? Like, there's only a few things I would say is wrong. Like, if you're using a spinning reel upside down, like with the spinning
Uh,
reel on top, that is
no,
wrong
both
because it's
upside down and you're backwards. You're reeling backwards.
yes, you are cranking backwards. That is, I can say that is wrong because spinning rods aren't meant to load that way. They're not splined to go backwards, and your guides aren't going to hold up that way. You're gonna end up breaking guides. So that's one of the few things I'll say. Like, if you're doing that, you're wrong. But I'm pretty like, I don't feel like I'm that judgmental when it comes to fishing because listen, I've been that guy with 5 rods walking down the bank, struggling to catch anything. And there's some 10-year-old kid with a bobber and a minnow and catches like a 4-pounder next to me. And I'm like, what am I doing with my life? I should have just had a bobber and minnow
Hey,
on, No right way to do
can
it,
I
man.
can I just ask, what is the deal when you use your spinning rod two-handed? And so you're holding in this hand and you almost have your line pulled out here, kind of like you're shooting a bow and arrow, and then somehow you
Mm-hmm.
cast it. What's that all about? Like, I don't, like, to me, that is just so much more convoluted, and there's so many more things that go into it that would make it the worst scenario for me ever.
Well, so there's two things to that. Number one, I have seen people cast with two hands, which makes no sense to me on a spinning reel. But there's also the other thing of you pop over the bail, hold your line, and then you hold
Sure.
the lure back and then let it go. And you can like slingshot dock skip it. So a lot of crappie guys will do that, or I guess bluegill, whatever, to
Yeah, no,
slingshot it under a dock. But
this isn't that case whatsoever. This is
you're talking about the
just
first one. I've seen people do. I've seen people hold their line and cast like that, or like there's people that will like do this weird hold and like cast it and hold on to the butt of the rod and then like come back and like fumble with it up here. I've watched people do. I'm like, yeah, I'm not necessarily going to say that's wrong, but it's definitely not. What's the word I'm looking for?
efficient.
What's the word? Efficient. Yes, efficient. But people yell at me because I use right-handed reels, cast right, and switch to
Yeah,
reel
you
right. So
you dummy. Why are you
yeah,
doing that,
idiot,
dummy?
stupid idiot. All right, where are we at for the giveaway here? Let's see. I'm not going to give a special number if y'all don't want to enter. You don't want to enter. I'm not going to push numbers. So I'll give you one more minute here. 147 hashtag mummy if you would like to win the custom painted Debo mummy bait. I'll throw in some other lures for you, but I thought those turned out kind of cool, kind of fun.
They did. They look really
Let's
good.
see. Iridex. Oh, so we're talking about rods here. Oh, I did get the Dobbins Maverick Creek and Trails. I did have the Dobbins Colt. Dobbins Colt was an awesome rod. Randy stole that one from me.
No, no,
Yeah, that's the black and orange one.
nope. Mm-mm.
Randall. Yeah, I caught a 6-pounder on that with a Chapo. Good rod. I liked it. Iridex, lots of Iridex.
Oh, that was at that awesome topwater pond that we walked around that was 10.5 miles in circumference and 180 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, probably. All
That,
right.
yep, right there. Yeah,
We're
that
at
was awesome. I
160.
love that day.
We're at 162. Okay, I am sharing. We're pulling. We're drawing 163. Somebody got in right before. I would love to see if it was that person that got in right before to win it.
Man, do you remember
Winner
that
is
that old
Caro.
boy that
Oh
was
my
walking?
gosh, Caro. You'd think it's
Congrats.
rigged. Caro's another winner. Caro won not too long ago, but with all due respect, Caro does support a ton of different channels. Caro, this is yours. You know the deal. Actually, Caro didn't win. So funny story. It was when I had Punch Fishing on. I had the gift certificate, and I thought I emailed it out to Caro, and I didn't. And Punch hit me up. He's like, "Hey, did you ever send that gift card out? It's still active." I'm like, "Yeah, I sent it out. I emailed the winner." It was Caro, and I went back and looked. I'm like, "Oh shoot, I didn't send that out, Miss Caro Ferg." So, hit me up with your address, Caro. Congratulations on that. We're still doing 2 more giveaways, folks. So in another few minutes here, I've got one of each. Randy will pick which one's going, but we still got the carved jack-o'-lantern and the, you can't really see it. I don't know why. It must be the light, but that's like a candy corn crackle, all painted by yours truly, because it's fun and painting's kind of therapy to me. Oh, Hammer says Bass Geek recommends the heavy Iridex for frogging. Oh, okay, cool. I like old Bass Geek. Hopefully, we'll have Hank and Jim on here sometime and do the old Three Stooges and Randall. It'll be the jig fishing
I
guys versus the others.
I feel like I just need to set that one out. I'll just sit here with my microphone muted, and you can't get a word in.
Oh, Randy. Let's see. Lose LFS done. Nick said so. That's back when I was talking about reels and
What
rods.
time are you at?
Gosh, I don't want to skip over all these. There could be so many good questions and
Did
stuff. But
Oh yeah, we did. What time are you at right now?
what's that? My stupid.
What
I don't
time?
know why these earbuds. I got some overhead ones that said are supposed to have like better signal, so I might look like I'm gaming or something. But
You
some
need to
cool
get some
overheads.
over ears.
That's what I meant. Not overhead, over ears. You know what I meant. Sorry.
Or not Bluetooth and just plugins. Do you have a aux?
I do, and I've got my earbuds, but the problem is it's like then I always tangle up and everything, and I love the where I can just do anything. Okay, Fat Guy Bassin. This is a good one. This or that. Only throw bait casters or only throw spinning reels for the rest of your life.
Baitcaster.
Yeah, bait caster.
No second guessing on that whatsoever. I mean, you don't ever hardly do it, but I know there's been days where you've been throwing stuff on spinning rods, and I was like, well, shucks, I don't have a spinning rod. I'm just going to throw this on a baitcaster. And I didn't catch as much, but I still caught fish on it. You know what I mean?
Arthur said, not exactly cheap, but the Sticks rods are $100. Yeah, I actually grabbed one of the Sticks rods, the number 3 or something it is. They reached out and said, hey, would you like to try one? Would you like to do a review and stuff? I was like, sure, feel free to send one over. And I liked it. If you go back and watch the slobber knocker video, that's what I threw it on all that day. I also tried some cranks and stuff on it after that. I haven't caught fish on it since then from what I was throwing, but yeah, I've liked that rod quite a bit. Let's see. I'm going to keep scrolling down. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm skipping over. My goodness. We got the hashtag mummy stuff. Okay. I'm going to skip to recent. So if you had something that was a dire question that we have not touched yet, let me know. Put it in the comments. I'm caught up to comments. I'm at 8:54. Let's see. So kind of an interesting one. Nick, what's your favorite lure to paint? Are you talking about like scheme, like pattern, or like blank? So like topwater, lipless. Lipless and flat baits are easier to paint. So I do enjoy that. Whereas like these where it's so rounded, if you want to try to use stencils and stuff, they won't lay on straight. Favorite pattern? I would probably say crappie or
Frog.
Crappie or like a crackle bluegill, I think are both fun.
Favorite because it's the easiest, or favorite because you feel like you could be the most creative with it?
So favorite because I think my crappie is pretty dialed in. I've done a couple of those that have matched almost exactly to
Mm-hmm.
some pictures. The crackle bluegill, just because it's like I feel like the bluegill color can work a ton of places, and like the crackle, like you can do so many different things with it. Like you can do different layers, you can do different underlay. Like you can do like I like the chartreuse crackle where you put like the chartreuse down, cover it with the mesh, and then do your bluegill. And then when you pull it off, it's like all that chartreuse, like lightning, you crackle
Sure.
through it.
Yeah.
Just
So
fun stuff like that.
along those lines, what do you feel like your most creative, or the one that you just really love because you could just go crazy on and do whatever you feel feels right? You know what I mean?
Um, I don't know that I have one. I kind of I don't know. I kind of tinker a lot, so I wouldn't say I have like one dialed in that's like this is the coolest, craziest thing that I do.
So you don't have a Jordan
No.
fadeaway of like paint scheme that you would, if it came down to it, you had to throw this and it had to be perfect and it had to be the best fish catcher ever or the best representation of the best bait. You don't have one of those?
No, no, I don't think so.
Honestly, I think a lot of yours are very creative, and like when you actually sit down, like they show up very well in the videos here, but when you actually sit down and you actually like can hold them in your hand and get like a good lighting or something like that, dude, you do an amazing job on a lot of those. There's
Thanks, man.
those little nuances, the little things that pop out, the
Yeah,
little, like you said, the cracks and stuff like that. I mean,
that's the thing too, is like you can like there's so many different things you can do to like kind of give it a cool different spin. Like I don't really have one that I would say I'm the best at
you
painting
need to
this
get a
ever in the world. Like
DEBO'S signature.
I know, I do. I did have the Debo craws actually. Those turned out pretty cool, where it was like the Debo written in the side and the craw.
Yeah.
Um, Fish Daddy, what's the largest bait you have thrown slash like to throw? Man, I am not a big bait guy. The biggest bait, I've thrown some pretty big, like bucktails and stuff. Like I've thrown some larger, like musky glides, but dude, to work one of those all day is just impossible. I work it for like 30 minutes and my arm's dead. So like some of those big bucktails are fun because you're just casting them out and retrieving them, but they're pretty big, like the blades. Otherwise, some larger, like musky plastics. In the bass world, like 3-ounce swim baits is like the biggest that I've really chucked around. Kyle did bring up an interesting one. I will share this real quick. So I'll go back to, I should have just left Tackle Warehouse up. I don't know why I closed the whole tab and just switched my screens that I'm sharing. That was dumb of me. But if we go here and share, so Cashin did come out. So I've got a couple Cashin rods. I've got the Icon chatterbait specific rod. I've got, gosh, I can't even remember what the other one is. It's a jerkbait rod. I guess we can just go over here to Cashin real quick and I can tell you. Okay, Cashin Core is my jerkbait rod. Like that a lot. The Cashin Icon specific to chatterbaits. There's like a chatterbait specific one. I don't know where it's at.
I'm just looking at these comments on big baits, and like people are talking like 3 ounces or bigger, and I'm like, I was thinking
Oh
three
yeah.
quarters is pretty big for me.
Yeah, they get huge. So I don't know. It definitely is a chatterbait specific one. It says 4 chatterbaits on it. I don't know which one of these it would be. But anyway, the one that I am interested in, they've come out with a new like budget slash type rod, $129, $130. This is their new element rod. I saw they just came out with. And I kind of like to give this a go. So it doesn't have the Kevlar wraps, which Cashin's kind of known for. It's just the cork, but I'd be willing to give that a go. American made. So yeah, I don't know. I saw that come out the other day, and oh man, they're almost all sold out, and a lot of them going quick, I guess. Well, darn, I probably won't be getting one for this year. Honestly, haven't been buying a ton of gear because I had so much like back stock that I haven't. And that's not, I'm not trying to brag or anything. That sounded kind of pretentious, asshole-ish of me.
It did.
I
You
just
sounded like a dick. Everybody
Yeah.
boo this man. Boo.
I didn't mean it that way, but I've had a number of things that I got. Like I wait to buy stuff on sale. I pretty much never buy stuff at full price if I can help it. Um, so I had just had multiple things that I've been trying to get back into and using. So I haven't really bought a ton of new stuff. As I say that, I was just talking about the SLX and the XT. Those are the two newest that I've bought, but I really haven't bought a ton of like new gear as it was coming out this year. But that one did catch my eye. So
That
Kyle, I have used
new?
theirs. That new. I know the grips take some getting used to, like those Kevlar wrap. I think those are out in my boat. They feel weird, but once you get used to them, they do have a good purchase on them, a good grip.
First of all, I have to say thank you for using the phrase "good purchase." I
Mhm.
use that often, and people are like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I'm like, "It's a good purchase."
It's
Like,
more of a pew pew thing. I think it's more of a pew pew community
yeah, touche,
word.
Tucci. Um, so in the Cashin rods, they have a John Cruz Icon series spinning rod. Am I silly by not knowing who John Cruz is?
Yeah, so John Cruz is actually one of the few pros that I've ever talked to. Super cool. I asked him if he would come on a live with me. He's like, yeah, and I've never hit him up since. I need to. But
You
anyway,
should
he
probably
actually
do that.
commented on one of my things where I was using. So he's the owner, which I didn't know at the time until I had been talking about it or something on a live, and somebody had pointed it out. And then I saw that he had commented not too long ago after that. But he's the owner or like co-owner of Missile Baits. So he owns that, and he's a
Okay.
professional angler. So he won like earlier this year. He won on. God, was that the St. John's he won earlier this year? I don't even remember where the hell they were at. But he was throwing their like the Missile Baits shaky head that came out. The God, what is that? The magic worm. The Missile Baits
Yes.
and Robo Worm collab.
I really like the look of this rod. I don't know if you've gone and checked it out, but
Is that the red one?
it's got the red and black grips on it.
Red. Yeah. I've never used those.
Yeah.
I've not used his signature ones. I've still pretty new. That's this last couple years I've got into Cashin. But I think he does something. I don't know if he like works with them or is part owner in Cashin or have just been sponsored by him forever. But I know he uses obviously if he's got his own rod Cashin. But I don't know. I didn't know he was the owner of Missile Baits or whatever. So I thought that was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, and it's like it's weird, like one of those things where we've talked about it in the past. It's like, you're kind of, really big into matchy matchy. Like I don't matchy matchy too much because like my jig rod is black and gray and red
I'm
and my
not into
reel is
matchy
like
matchy either.
green
If it
and
works out,
gold
it
and
does. If it doesn't, it
you know,
doesn't.
but that thing just looks there was something about the look as I was like scrolling through that like definitely popped out and grabbed my eye and I think it looks sick. Dope, cool. What do the kids say these days?
Yeah, I don't know. I
Bussin'?
still say sick, and I
It's
think that
bussin'.
has definitely aged me.
I think
Sick and
it's
sweet. I
bussin'.
still say both of those. Let's see. I'm going through comments. Man, there's a ton of cool stuff in here. I did see Brennan was in here. Brennan, what's up, man? Brennan, we need to get you on for live. You and Drake both for a do it live. That'd be fun. Michael,
What
you must
time?
have asked this a few times. I'm at 8:58 for comments. Michael Bradley said, "What
Water the
the or
flowers.
what? Oh, I thought this was a what the hell? Like, what the hell? Will you not answer this?" He's just abbreviating. What is your most favorite and least favorite rod and why? Michael. Oh, it's not Bradley. I'm sorry. It's Barkley. What the hell is my deal? So Michael Bradley, I think, is another subscriber who I see quite a bit commenting. Michael Barkley. Sorry, Michael. My favorite, dude, I don't even know where to start. Like, I am pretty set on the Daiwa Zillion SVTW is my favorite reel. I can pretty confidently say
It's
that
we're
out of
talking
everything I've got.
rods.
I
We're
know.
talking rods.
I know. I'm saying I can confidently say that on a reel. As far as rods go, though, man, I'm kind of all over the place. Well, this one, for example, like as far as like just a combo that's easy to use, feels good in hand. I know I've talked about this before. Oh, speaking of Missile Baits, that's their little Ike's mini swim jig with the mini D on there. I love those mini D trailers. But TFO, this is the tactical bass rod. Love their rods. They've got some really cool stuff. Kistler's got some rods that KLX I kind of fell in love with.
I can
Gosh,
never
when you go down the
unhear the
line,
fact
like
that Debo loves the mini D. So
Randy, stop it. When you go down the line, man, there's so many good rods out there. Rods are hard for me. Like so many of them can feel so good in hand. That Dobbins, using that Dobbins the other day was amazing.
oh
Least
yeah,
favorites? Gosh, do I have a least favorite rod? I
I
didn't
don't
like
I don't know
the
if there's a specific brand, make, or model, however you want to call it. It's just for me, like I don't care what kind of fishing it is. I don't want a broomstick in my hand.
you don't want to what?
A broomstick. You know, I had
Oh,
that one frogging rod that was literally
the Shields one?
there was no bend to it. No offense
You
to those
hated
guys. I
that
mean, it
rod.
was a rod that I picked up, but it is the worst ever. Like just that real no feel to it. And like I said, for me, I can't say a specific, but it's that type of rod. I'll never, I don't care what kind of fishing I'm doing. If everybody's like, you need this kind of rod or you're going to start on fire, I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to use what I want to use.
So the full moon thing, G fan, that's a good question. Let's get another giveaway going here. We're at an hour. Still got 256 people watching on a Saturday night, which is freaking awesome. Randall, which one are we giving away next? Are we going the Jack
Let's
O
go the
or
candy
Crackle?
corn. I feel like I want to say the jack-o'-lantern for me is probably my favorite
Okay.
out of the three. And it was a toss
And
up
it's
between the
pearl
candy
inside
corn and
too.
the
So like
zombie
you
or
can't
the
really
mummy.
tell, but I
Sorry.
did a pearl inside, so it almost looks like it's glowing. I tried to replicate like it's lit up inside, and I put sparkle in the clear coat of this one too, so it's got like a black sparkle.
Can you
That's
just
pretty
make
cool.
sure I win
Okay,
that
so we're
one?
doing the
That
candy
was
corn
cool.
next.
Thanks.
So if you're into the candy corn crackle, this doesn't have a clear coat on it yet, so it'll have to get clear coated. But I alternated. So the orange underneath the orange is white, underneath the yellow is orange, underneath the white back here is yellow. You can't really see it, but alternating crackle underneath it, and then your candy corn colors on top. And I did check to see what is the bottom color on the candy corn on the pointy side, and it is white, orange, yellow. So I did make sure it was accurate because those little
Really?
things, yeah, kind of
Hey, have you ever seen
bug me. So
those candy corns that aren't for Halloween that are for Thanksgiving? And they have the pumpkins in there and they have like a dark brown. Do those taste different than the Halloween candy corns?
I don't know. I hate candy corn. I couldn't tell you. I don't. I think I've ate it like once. Horrible. Absolutely hate it.
You're telling me you wouldn't get down on a candy corn M&M and peanut mixie?
No, I would pick the M&Ms and peanuts out and eat those. Don't sigh at me like I'm some horrible person because I don't like candy corn.
I
I
like
would
my
I would reckon
candy
to say
corn.
8 out of 10 people do not like candy corn. You're in the minority for liking it. So don't sigh at me, Randall. Okay, another one. We got another hashtag. This one's hashtag candy. And I'm going to switch over to my share screen. I need Randall. Where's Randall Pink Floyd when I need him to help pick on Randy for me? Is he in here? Have I seen Randall Pink Floyd? I think he was in here earlier. I saw him when
He's
we
been in
first
here
hopped
quite.
on.
Yeah, he's been in here.
Okay. I'm scrolling through comments so fast. I'm really just looking for like things that pop out as questions. Mike
There
Vogel's
was
got a good one
a
here.
damn it, I just saw it.
This or that, Mike. Cork handles or something else. I'm kind of like
Oh,
Randy. When it comes to like, I'm not real matchy. I'm honestly not real carry when it comes to handles. It goes back to whoever said that before. It has to feel good in hands, or like Randy always says, it has to feel good in the hand. I've got
mm-hmm.
some corks I like. I've got some EVAs I like. I've got some wind that I like. I couldn't say that
What's
I'm like
what's
100%
that
one of your.
Shimano handle on that
Oh yeah,
Intenza? What is
yeah. They
that
call it like
technically considered?
Apex grips or something. It's there. I think it's something that has to do with like their bike stuff. Obviously, Shimano's big into like bike parts,
Yeah.
and I think it was in um
What did you say? It was like
shoot,
a
to me it felt like
soft sandpaper
a soft
or
Velcro, like a really small soft Velcro.
Velcro-y sandpaper is how I kind of feel like it is. I really enjoy that handle.
Yeah, it's
Um,
very different. It's kind of like that cash, and like it's a very different like feel when you pick it up. Like you've never felt anything like it. And I know I wasn't sure about it. I'll show you what we're talking about.
I
Whoops.
also think it's gonna hold up well in, like, the elements as well. Like, you're not gonna run
Yeah,
across, something
like it
where, "Oh,
tearing off
slipped out of
or
my hand," or it got eroded by the weather, anything like that.
so the Claris, like here's an example. Excuse me, the Claris rods have that same grip on it. I've had one of these Claris rods since they came out, and I still haven't done like a review or show of it, or like I've
Say
got to get
what?
my arse into gear. Yeah, and this is like an $89 rod, and I've enjoyed it. And it's one that I've used like a few times, and then I was going through rotations and I found it. I'm like, crap, I forgot I even had this rod. So I kind of had to take a step back from buying stuff and be like, listen, dude, you got to use the stuff you got.
Yeah.
But anyway, these are the grips that we're talking about. So you can just barely see. It's like a real small, like soft Velcro-y, like the hard Velcro, not the furry side, like the hard side.
Yeah,
What do they
like
call it? Alpha
the
grips.
those are the full loops versus the half loops is the soft side, I
Yeah,
think. I
G
don't know.
Alpha grips, whatever the hell that means. But
It's
yeah, they're
it's really
interesting.
weird. I don't know, it's hard to say what it actually feels like in hand, but, it grabs you can grab a hold of it, and I don't feel like it's ever gonna really slip out of your hand. I could be totally wrong, but I'm kinda getting on board with that. Yeah.
Okay, hashtag candy if you want to be entered in for the Crackle Candy Corn Topwater Walking Bait. So that's where I stand, Mike. I don't know, Randy, do you have a favorite or just kind of all those and you just
Um, I don't the only thing I don't like is a full, like, I'll just say a full cork handle. It doesn't have to be cork, but, like, just a full handle. I like the split handles better, just personal opinion.
yeah, and I'm either. Like, yeah, I like there's some full handles I like and there's some split grips I really, really like. Mike, I did buy a couple things when Canada went out of business. Funny you asked that. There's Randall Pink Floyd. Let's see what else. Oh, it was St. John's River. Yeah, that's where he won that. Cruz won that. Yep, he does a lot of Spro design work too. Rich. Yep.
I saw this, maybe it was a this or that, or God, what was it? I think it was like this or that 10-pound bass, largemouth, 5-pound smallie, or 6-pound smallie, one of those two. I
10
don't
pound
know.
bass. That's a
Really?
lifetime dream for me. Yeah. 10 pound, like I'm never gonna catch a double digit. Like a 6 pound small is a tank, and I know that would be awesome, but like there's just something about being
Man.
able to say I caught a double digit. Like it's just
Like,
not gonna happen up here in Iowa for me.
it could. I mean, it
If I find
definitely
somebody with an
could.
awesome like farm pond that nobody fishes, I would love to do that.
A farm pond managed to be a big bass factory. You could,
Yeah,
get in there and easily catch them. No big
yeah,
deal.
I wish.
Hey, we're out at this
Arthur,
normal lake. Anybody can fish today, and
yeah, out at this
rumor
very normal
is,
lake. This is everybody fishes
don't
it. There's nobody here
don't
now. I don't know how.
don't you dare try to figure out where we are.
Fish Daddy. Speaking of, I don't know the gentleman's name. I didn't talk to him, or I didn't ask him the name, but I talked to him today. A couple guys met me out at a local pond. Shout out to you guys if you're watching. But they're like, "Hey, are you DEBO'S Fission?" I'm like, by golly, I am. Talked for a little bit, but I only caught 3 fish in like 2.5 hours, so I was a little grumpy that I had to go. So I probably didn't seem the happiest. Fish Daddy 401. So this or that. White. Oh, so black baits. Wait, what? This or that. Only fish with all black baits, or I think he meant to say
Or
or all
yeah,
white baits.
or all white baits.
I would definitely go with all white baits because so the thing about black baits, I certainly like when you're trying to mimic like bluegill or when you need a silhouette
Hmm.
in certain watercolors. So I'm thinking back to the time where I was throwing, it was like a black and I don't know, red glitter or something. It was a Beast Coast Marauder, the larger crawl looking thing. I don't think they even make it anymore. I don't know if they do or not, but I remember there was bass fishing or bass pushing bluegill up shallow, busting while I was doing a video. And I ended up throwing this and catching a number of fish. And it was just like perfect outline. Like it just looked like a bluegill. But there's something about like an all white bait. You can mimic crappie, you can mimic hybrids, you can mimic like I've said before, the bottoms of like little bass are white, so if it's a fish looking up, it could look like a baby bass. Just so many things. Shad, are kind of that white color. So many things you can mimic like with just a white bait. So
Yeah, I'd probably agree. The white is probably a go-to. The black, I mean, anytime I catch a fish, you're looking at it and, the bellies in which, the fish are probably looking up at it. Like you just said, it's going to be white or a lighter color. I can get a flash
yeah,
on, that darker water if I put a big spinner bait with the big flashing blades on there. Even if it's white, I could probably get something to bite on it. Versus, black is just kind of very, very specific for the time and place that you want to try to throw it.
yep, yep. Let me see. Where are we
Ooh,
at
this or
format
that. This
wise?
is a
This
brand new one,
is
916 from Scott. Soft baits or hard baits the rest of your life?
I'm trying to. Okay, there we go. I don't know. Everything was like frozen. I'm sharing, right? You can see that hashtag
Yeah.
candy. Okay,
Yep.
so we're 150 people. Let's grab a winner real quick. We'll go a little bit after hour and a half. So in another 20 minutes, we'll do the last one. So let's see. I need to also write people down here. Sponsored by Mr. Randall. I've my other winners. So Braden said he didn't want the plastics. Braden and I talked. He's actually opened up his own store. I'm gonna have to buy some from you, Braden. If you're on, I need to put in an order with you because he has supported me. So I believe in supporting those who have supported you. I need to order some of his cranks. But we've got Caro, who is the mummy.
Braden, if you're still in here, do you want to throw up your site or how to order those?
Yeah, I just followed him the other day. I saw he bought a ton of lures from me when I first launched, and he said I had why do I struggle with words? I feel like I have brain damage
Reasons.
from getting punched all the time. I
Yeah, you
had
should listen better then.
I had encouraged or not encouraged, like motivated him. I don't even know the word. Anyway, he got
Pushed.
into soft or into
Yeah.
hard bait painting with airbrush. So anyway, try to support those that support you. So this will be for candy corn. I've got the other guys. Let's see, Jermaine, I still owe you some grass jigs. Matthew, I want to get your jerk baits painted. I did paint you up a couple liplesses. Fishing for potatoes, top spin and plastics. I haven't forgotten about you as well, my friend. Though I do have the thermal printer, I still have to get the stuff packed up, and I've been a little bit
Thermal
behind,
printer drink.
so.
Did you mark down the mummy?
Yep, that was Carol, Miss Carol Ferg. Got her on here. Next one is Illuminathan, another good supporter. Actually, we've got how much time left? An hour 12. Okay, so Illuminathan for candy corn. Okay, so Illuminathan, if you send me a screenshot
let's
of your
just throw
YouTube.
this out here. Present to win, not in Canada. Sorry, people. Never mind. DEBO send it to you if you live in Canada. No big deal. We'll do it.
Yeah, if it's these customs, I will because I already put it up. But normally,
Present to win.
Yes, must be present to win. If it's a normal giveaway, if you live in Canada from now on, I probably won't send you a box of lures and stuff because A, it's expensive, and B, it's a pain in the butt. So I'll just send you like a gift card instead. It's like a $50 gift card. I'll go out and buy one.
And if it's customs, it reverts to me.
Okay, so the questions here. Let's grab a couple questions. Let's keep rolling through.
Oldest rod.
This is fun. This has been fun tonight. 265 people watching. Do you all have fun on live? Hanging out, talking fishing. I do. I never don't look forward to this. So, Victor, what is your oldest rod that you use in your rotation? I don't know about rod, but I can say the Corrado 200Es for reels that I still use. Love those. I had one. I've told the story before. Sold it for like $40. Didn't know what I had, and then tried to find them again, and people are selling them on eBay for like $250.
If you had to guess, how old would that be?
What year did the E's come out?
No, when would that have been? Well, I guess, yeah.
So the E's came out in 2004, I want to say. Is that right? Somebody can correct me. I'm sure we got
Okay.
better memory people out there. I would guess 2004 is probably when that came out.
Because I was thinking I haven't used it in, you know, I don't know, like a year or 2 years, maybe three now. But we did that. The one, what was it, three bait challenge, where you tried busting out like the Zebco 2020 or whatever the hell it was, and you lost that. But I was using a St. Croix Mojo. It was, I want to say it was a jerk bait
Jerk bait.
rod.
Yep, the jerk
Yeah.
bait rod. Yep.
And that thing, I've been wanting to bust that out, but I just every time I walk past it, I'm like, oh, I should. Actually, I'm busting it out. No more excuses. I'm doing it.
My oldest rod, I'll bring my oldest rod tomorrow, Victor. So my favorite oldest rod that I still keep. So a lot of the ones that when I went through my old stuff, because I hadn't bought like new gear. So I used to fish heavily back in the day, all the way up through high school. A lot of it was hand-me-down stuff from dad or stuff I got from, Christmas or whatever. Then I took like a huge hiatus after I got into MMA, kickboxing and stuff, and didn't like, fished here and there, but I would just go down to the river like with a couple buddies and we'd throw some stuff, grubs, some swim baits, nothing like crazy. And then once I got back into it, so that's been like 2015 ish. I kind of went through a rehaul and gave dad some of his stuff back, sold a bunch of my stuff off. So I don't have any of that, but I know the uh, number 8 tackle Hellbent, I think is what it was one of the first rods that I got back when I started getting like quote unquote like new stuff back then. That was like a $70 rod, and I got it for $20 on a day after Thanksgiving, like 100 people deal or whatever. Like where if you had them, you could get them. $20. I got that
Was it
rod
from
for.
Gander?
That's what I said. Yeah, did I not say that? Yeah, it was a
I don't think I
gander.
did. Or you did.
Oh, yeah, it was a gander day after Thanksgiving sale. $20, and that rod I did everything on. So I'll bust that out, Victor, and use that tomorrow. But that's my favorite
I
old rod that I still have. I don't
it
have it in
sucks.
rotation, but.
South Jersey fisherman said at 921, 4 or 5 years ago, he had most everything was stolen from him. That's got to be a bum out. I
Oh,
don't even
damn.
know what I would do, but he said the newer stuff, the carrot stick. Do you remember the carrot stick when that came out?
I remember I never had one. I remember with like people with the big old orange glowing rods, but I never used one.
Yeah, man, but yeah, I can try to go and see what I have for old. If worst case scenario, I'm busting out that St. Croix tomorrow for sure.
I'll throw a Corrado E on that old Hellbent or Hell. I think that's what it was called, Hellbent. Rock that tomorrow for some moving baits. Basilisk Chap, what's been your worst lure of the year? I was actually just talking to somebody on Instagram about this. They said, "Are you going to do your best and worst lures?" I am. I will definitely do it. I was trying to think back on like the first one that comes to mind is weird because it's the Spro Flapping Frog, and it was like one of my favorite frogs. Like, loved it. Loved the action of it. Loved that it's like the Elaz Techie held up great, but also one of the worst because the weight fell out after like 5 casts, and I heard that from everybody. And I know I've said this before too, but I know Spro was reaching out to some people like on Instagram. People had reached out to me and said, "Hey, Spro actually messaged me and said that they'll replace it or whatever." They said they fixed it. I haven't bought any of the new ones, but people were saying that Spro fixed the issue. I don't know how they did. I haven't bought any of the new ones, so I can't really say. But that was the one that comes to mind for me. So
Oh God, I can't continue looking at these comments. South Jersey said the worst yet is he feels like it was somebody that he knew that took his stuff.
oh
That's
damn. So I had a similar thing. So remember when I said I was huge into fishing? Like every time we would go to places, like dad
hmm
would let me get a lure. Like show and tell when I was little, I took my tackle box. Like huge into fishing. And we were at the boat ramp at one place, and I left my huge tackle box of like all my goodies on the boat ramp. Got home, realized we had left it there, went back, and it was gone. So hundreds,
Nothing's
of dollars of
changed yet,
lures. And,
though. You continue to leave everything that you take out with you. You just set your stuff down and you're like, I'm gonna go on a nature hike and walk 4.5 miles away and
oh,
I'll just leave my stuff there. Nobody's gonna
dude,
get
nobody's
it.
gonna
Duh.
steal it there. I'm saying I left it at the boat ramp and like we left like our drive. I walk like I walk like 30 yards away from it and you're all scared. Dude, you left your somebody's gonna steal. I'm like,
30
nobody's gonna
yards? You were
steal
a
it.
solid 200 yards away around
Oh
a
my
corner.
God. Dude, I'm never taking you hunting. If you're my spotter for hunting, we're screwed.
I'm
I was
gonna
like 30 yards.
next time you leave, I'm gonna hide all your stuff and be like, I don't know, dude. I didn't do anything with it. Except for this every single time, I'm the little goat behind you with the pack. I'm the pack mule behind
My
carrying all
Sherpa,
your gear,
my Sherpa
all
like
of
we're
my
climbing
gear, the
Everest.
whole nine.
Oh, Randy, it was like 30
Oh,
yards. It'll be all right, buddy.
way more
Plum
than 30
Plum, dude,
yards.
that stuff
I'm gonna
makes me
measure
puke
it.
just as much as that candy corn crap. Those stupid pumpkins, those are horrible. Ugh, hate that stuff. Let's see.
Fat
Okay,
boy,
let's grab.
real quick. Fat boy said if someone stole all my stuff, you'd straight John Wick them.
Ooh, old John Wick. It used to be. It's funny how people go through like your tough guy reference and be like, "Oh, I'd go James Bond on him," and then it was like, "Oh, I'd go Jason Bourne on him," and now it's like, "Oh, I'd go John Wick on him."
Have
Got
you seen
your
any of those? Have you seen any of those like memes or gifs or whatever the hell they call them now? They're all like, "Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne," and someone's doing something like totally ridiculous. If not, I'm just laughing at it in my head right now. But I'll show you some
I've
tomorrow. But it's hilarious.
I've seen like stuff like that where it's like, oh my gosh, he must be like Jason Bourne or does it Randall Pink? There's Randall Pink Floyd. Dizzle eats candy corn out of a clamshell and chases it with gulp juice. Bait fuel chases it down with bait fuel. Randy's all in on the bait fuel stuff. He's a believer. Do you even know what the bait fuel is? Remember that stuff we were talking about? Is it real or not?
Yeah, we're not. Let's just move forward on this.
Okay. Daniel T. Yeah, the Dobbins Free is also an awesome budget-ish rod. It used to be at $99. I think it's like $120 now, but yeah, the Furies are good rods. I've got a couple of those. This or that, smallies or largies. Man, I'm a largemouth guy. Like I don't know all smallie habits and the clear places and fishing deep for them, and I'm a shallow water largemouth guy. That's my comfort zone.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but like for some odd reason, like right now, this time of year, I'm like, I would way rather catch a big smallie than a big largemouth.
Oh yeah, they fight more than like they're fun. Like you can tell when it's a smallie just because they're mean little jerks.
But
Like
it has more to
as
do with like it's fall for me anyway. Like I want to catch a big smallie during the fall, you know?
yeah, I did see that they had mass big bait says I'm gonna grab a SLX swim bait rod. I did see that they came out with a swim bait specific rod. I think last time or two times ago when we were looking at those on a live. I didn't know they had a swim bait specialist. That's pretty cool. I still use the Dobbins Fury swim bait rod. I think that's a great all around rod. I've thrown the large ploppers, like the 130 size ploppers. I think that rod's rated for like 1 to 7 ounces, and there's no way I would like feel comfortable throwing a 7-ounce bait on it because it's a pretty soft rod. I've thrown, I think, like 3 ounce, and I feel like that's like getting close to the end of where I want to be. I'm not experienced in all the big baits, so maybe I'm just a sissy, but I feel like, man, if I was throwing a 7-ounce bait on that, that thing would be all sorts of yuck.
I just
Brennan
don't feel
says,
like I could ever get myself to that level where I feel like I'd be comfortable doing that.
Brennan, that is true. Get pike slime on your hands and you won't be able to do the EVA grips for the next 5 casts. Yeah, you gotta wipe off the slime, man. The old pike
That's why
slime.
you have Debo take him off the hook for you. Just saying.
I love pike, man. I love them. Zen Aquatics, this or that. Fish hometown lakes and ponds each trip or a new lake and pond each trip. So, like, are
Oh,
we saying that I can teleport there? If we could teleport there, like, and time isn't an issue, I honestly would rather fish new lakes and ponds every time I go and try to figure it
yeah.
out. Like, there's
Well,
comfort in
but then
fishing.
Oh man, that's where it gets tough. It's like you said, you were just saying it's comfort in fishing, but at the same time, it's like the unknown, the possibilities of what could be in that water.
Yeah. So the fun thing
Oh,
for me is like, I still to this day always get excited, like butterflies on my stomach when I pull up to a new place. Like, oh my gosh, I've never fished here. Like, what is in here? What's it going to be like? What's the cover going to be like? I still get giddy like a little kid. It's stupid. Like, speaking of Brennan was in here. I don't know if he still is. I don't know how far I'm behind, like 15 minutes. But like when I was going up to the Mississippi, I was so excited to go up and fish with those guys on that part of the Mississippi because one, I'd never fished it. And two, it was somebody who had, fished that spot, who knew it, who had a nice boat. It's just like, man, this will be fun. This is a cool new adventure. But like for
mm-hmm.
me, it's a time thing. I mean, I work a full-time job. I've got kids. Like, we can only, meet certain times. So it's like,
Yeah, you can only like figure out a new body of water. Oh, there's a brush pile out there. Oh, I broke off on
yeah.
something that spot's
And I'm not
blown
an
up now. It
electronics
doesn't
guy.
even matter. Yeah.
Yeah, like it'd be different if we were like both like amazing electronics guys, but I'm not. Like I don't have live scope. I don't have, I've got a very regular depth side imaging deal, which I don't even have my side imaging dialed in. Like I haven't even like taken time to really learn that. So electronics is
Uh,
just so much of it.
I'm just gonna say, long story short, I'm going hometown on that one. As much as it pains me to say it, I gotta go hometown on that.
Okay. How about Big John? This or that, fluke or jerkbait only during the fall? Easy for me, jerkbait, hard jerkbait all day. That's one of my top 3 confidence baits in the fall. Love it. Love a jerkbait bite.
Yeah, I would have to kind of agree with that just because, I mean, I think this is the first year I've ever caught anything on the, honestly, this is the first year I've ever thrown a fluke, let alone caught anything on it. So, jerkbait.
Um, Steven, no, you're not, old man. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, damn, it's 9:30 and I'm already getting tired. So I must be getting, well, it's 10:15 here and I'm about ready to call it a night. Oh, I get it, man. I get it. Let's see. What was Barkley saying here? Barkley is trolling. What was Michael Barkley saying? Hashtag candy. Oh, he just kept entering hashtag candy. Yeah, only one entry, guys. You only need to do, when I do the hashtag stuff, multiple entries don't count you. It cuts out all the duplicates. So don't think that you're getting like a bunch of different entries when I do
You had
that.
a donation, FYI, at
Let's see. I'm scrolling
9:29,
through.
9:30.
I'm at
Eric D.
9:15 right now. What's that?
Eric D. 9:29 to 9:30, somewhere right around there.
Let's see. I'm going to try to just skip through some of these. Okay, so 9:30-ish, you said, from whom?
Eric D.
God, you keep skipping as soon as I say that. From who?
Eric D.
Eric D. Every time I would ask it would like skip out. Okay,
It sounds
Eric
like a
D at
you
9.
problem, bub.
I know it's for whatever reason. I don't know if it's. I think it's the adapter thing that I've got the Bluetooth earbuds in. I wish I had.
Get the
Hey,
DEBO'S
Jeremy
on.
Breed said, "Sorry, I'm late. Go Hawks." I saw that standing out. Go Hawks! Finally getting that dub. At Gander, more at Gander questions. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Illuminathan. Christ, I'm sorry. I didn't even tell people where to email me. Yeah, debosfishing@gmail.com. Did you send it there? Nathan, I got it. Yes, I got your email. Sorry, I didn't even put that up for anybody. So it shows that Nathan, Illuminathan, watches and is a fan because he already knew the email address. So thank you, brother. Let's see. 9:30. Man, I'm at 9:23. There's all kinds of good comments here. I feel bad skipping over these. I've got a question here, actually, for you all, fishing friends. Have you used a pin reel, spinning reel? And what do you think of them? I have never used a single pin reel in my life. I get questions about them all the
Is it
time.
pin or pen?
I don't
It's
know.
pen,
Pen,
right?
Penn. I think
Okay.
it's just a
I was just making sure we're
pronunciation.
thinking of the same one.
Pen. Root beer, Randy. I say root beer for Christ's sake. Give me some slack.
Oh, do
Okay,
they
I'm at
make
925. Okay.
inshore, like, freshwater stuff? I thought that was primarily, like, offshore stuff.
Dude, they've got all kinds of stuff. We'll bring them up here. I saw they had some new ones come out not too long ago. Eric D. Okay. This or that. Never frog fish the rest. Oh, and holy crap, a $10 bomb. I'll drink to that. Thank you, brother. Never frog fish the rest of your life, or never eat biscuits and gravy for the rest of your life. Oh my gosh, dude. Well, listen, Debo's already kind of tubby. He's a little thicker than he should be. Saying that, I did get biscuits and gravy for breakfast this morning. I stopped at Old Hardee's. I would say never eat biscuits and gravy again because I know they're not the best for me. But damn, I love them. So I'm not giving up my frog fishing. I'll eat omelets again. I was good at egg white omelets there for a while, but I'll drink to that. Thanks, Eric. Love me some B's and G's.
That's funny.
$10 bomb. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that, man. It always blows my mind that people will donate and hang out with us. Two guys liking to talk fishing. And Mike, this or that. Catch your PB on a Guggen bait, I'm guessing, but
I
have to
saw
wear
that.
their gear every day for a year. Okay. Or they come out with a bait that actually catches a fish, but you can't fish it and have to say you hate them. Let's see. I think I would be in the majority if I just said I hate them. Like I feel like a lot of the regular like bass fishing guys hate them because of no, they're YouTubers and all this stuff, right? Wearing their stuff. So like it depends on like what they have for choices. Like I really don't care. I would do that if they had some crazy bait and I caught a 10-pounder on it. I would wear their stuff.
So
Like if I
so I don't know
legit
if you've
liked it
seen
and
their
used it.
stuff. They're like,
What
as
do you got?
far as their merch, wearing their merch, I assume that's what he's referring to. Um, they have basic hats and things like that, but then all of their like shirts and things are like, I'll say camo type, but the
Yeah, I've seen
camo
some. There's
isn't
some
like
like some
camo
stupid
pattern.
patterns and stuff like
It's
oh, stuff
fish
I
and
wouldn't wear.
lures. Like I would definitely rock something like that, but I mean, I'm not gonna go out and buy it. And I
Yeah, some
actually
of
have
them
gone
I've
out
seen
and
like
looked.
look too, and it's aimed at a younger crowd. Like I'm not in the
Yeah.
big bright colors and like stupid patterny
And
stuff. But if they had like white sun
why the
shirts or
hell
black
does
sun
everything
shirts,
have to be so damn expensive?
the
Like
what?
they're like, "Oh, here's a sun shirt. Give me $187.92, please. Thank you." That's not how much it is. That's an exaggeration. But why I don't understand why all this stuff is so damn expensive. I don't get it. Get off my lawn, damn kids.
Get off our lawn. Let's see. We're at an hour 30. Should we start the last giveaway? Should we give away the coveted Randy's favorite jack-o'-lantern, bloody jack-o'-lantern, glowing? I don't know. I thought it turned out
Yeah,
kind of neat. Let me know. Let me know
that
what you
one's
guys
pretty
think.
sick.
This was a one of a kinder. I didn't do two of these. I did two of the mummy so I could sell one on my site. This one I just did one. It took quite a bit of time.
You dang hole.
That was a fun. So let's see. We'll do one more. Let's see, what should we do for the hashtag? So Illuminathan was the winner on the last one.
Oh, you should do hashtag skinny boy fishing just because he was the first one to say hashtag Jack as soon as you brought it up in his gains that he's posted on the
I
gram.
was gonna
PS
do hashtag punkin.
Punky.
Punkin. Let's see. StreamYard giveaway. This
Oh,
broadcast. Let's see.
I
We'll
was
do.
just saying as you're doing all that, just again, congrats, Fat Boy, killing it, man. Keep it up, dude. Chris, we can't say
Man, I don't
that.
know. I think these are almost out. I'm gonna have to.
Pumpkin. Cause did you ever watch those? It's a scary Halloween Charlie Brown or whatever the heck they were
There we
called.
go. I don't know if those were almost out of juice or what, but man, everything was breaking up. I couldn't hear. Okay,
Oh,
so
so he didn't hear anything I've been saying for the last
I didn't know. Were you
5 minutes.
saying how nice I was and a good looking
Oh,
friend and how much you enjoyed my presence? And that's nice of you, Randy. I appreciate
there's a Japanese beetle on my ceiling right now. I can't even concentrate anymore.
Sounds like a normal day of fishing with you.
Oh,
Hmm?
butterfly.
What? Squirrel?
Sparkly.
Okay, hashtag pumpkin for the last one, the jack-o'-lantern carved pumpkin deal. My old lady was watching some pumpkin carving contest the other day. She
Oh
likes to
man.
watch those. It's interesting, man. They can do some crazy arse stuff with a pumpkin carving. Let's see. Do either of you hunt? Simon, I do. I haven't in some time. Actually, Dad and I were just talking about it. We were going to go pheasant hunting tomorrow.
I
But I
was gonna
think
say, I thought you were going.
I was going to, but because the weather is so nice, I said, I think I'm going to go fishing tomorrow. So it might be me and Randy on a fishing adventure. But I think next weekend, Dad and I are going out pheasant hunting, deer hunting. And then I just got sick of sitting in a tree stand in the cold because I really don't like cold.
Holy crap.
And
I was driving home. I had gone over to Best Buy before this started, and it's kind of like a back way. It's not really in the country per se. It's right by one of the big John Deere buildings here in Waterloo. But you drive down this road in the fields, man. There had to have
mm,
been 30 plus deer just out
yeah,
there munching on whatever corn's left over. Eesh,
yeah. Once they get all that corn pulled out, man, they'll be out there eating all the leftovers. I would be too,
munching.
dude. Let's see. Here's my pin comments. Okay, so I love pin reels. They're okay. Pin Pursuit 3. I only use pin for saltwater, never used a pin. I've got a couple battles. Let's look. Okay, so for anybody that's on still, we saw
Yeah, pull it up,
237
share
people.
it, share your pin.
Yep. Hashtag pumpkin. Hashtag pumpkin for anybody looking to get entered in the giveaway. That's what we're doing right now.
Pumpkin.
For pumpkin, the Debo jack-o'-lantern painted bait. I'm gonna close that over for a second and don't want to close that tab. I just do stop share. Got it. Okay. And then share my tackle warehouse one. So pinreels. So they came out with a new pinreel, and a couple people were asking me about them. I have never used a single pinreel in my life or pen. So I want to say it was
Pin.
this pen. Was it the Pen Fierce? Somebody was asking me about it. It was a newer one. Yeah, I want to say it was like $100. It
They
must have
only
been
do
this one.
spinning reels,
I assume
right?
so. I
Or
don't think
no?
I've ever seen a pen bait caster. But I think this was the one people were asking me about. Full metal body, graphite rotor, 4 bearings. I mean, it looks like a pretty solid reel. I've just never used one, so I don't know. I know, yeah, they're big in the saltwater industry. Is this like a bait feeder? Oh, it is. That's a bait feeder deal. Well, I don't need a
Oh,
bait feeder
duh. I
reel.
mean, they have, I guess, sorry, they have the big, oh, they have the big oval.
Yeah, I'm
What the
talking
hell are
like
those
bait
called?
casters. I don't think they do bait casters though, do
They
they?
actually have a Fathom. It's called a Fathom
Oh, yeah,
low
they did come out with a
profile.
couple. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now
That
that you say that,
actually
I do remember
looks
that.
looks kind of loosey.
This is the one I was looking at. It kind of reminded me of the Daiwa BG. It's full aluminum frame and side plate. So, I mean, super sturdy. What's the weight in this? Like 9 ounces, probably. Yep. So I would get a
That
2400 or 2500 for 997. So what do you think? What do you guys think? Should I pick up one of these? As I was just saying, I haven't bought new gear. I don't really need another spinning reel, but I get questions on these. I've never used one. Never used a single pin
just
reel.
give
So.
Dizzle one of your old spinning reels.
Hey,
Huh?
you're
What
always
happened?
free to take whatever you need for
Dude,
your
you need to
testing and
go
adventures.
try to find this Fathom low profile bait casting reel when you get a hot second.
Okay, I'm just
I
looking
don't know
for
what that
comments.
means. The
Pen for
kids say it.
salt. Number of people saying I only use pen for saltwater
What
stuff.
the hell?
I've got some old pens that I still like. Randall Pink Floyd. I have 15 pin reels, all conventional or level wines. Okay, so the round reels. Yeah, so it seems like overall pretty good, but yeah, mainly known like in the saltwater thing. That's kind of the same thing with Okuma. Like I know they're big in the saltwater stuff. My dad had an Okuma rod. I had the Okuma Apixer, right? I think the Apixer was the only one that I had ever really used until recently.
I knew of Okuma for like ice fishing. Like that's what I knew them of, not,
Hmm.
They were, I think that's where I learned. I don't know. That's what I thought I knew them on from
Oh my God,
from.
look at this. Somebody's trying to encroach on your YouTube name. This is
Oh
Diesel's
yeah.
Fishing. Holy
Oh
smokes.
boy. Hey, you have I think two more
I did see that. A
donations.
couple
Two of
donations.
them?
Yep. We're going to grab
Okay.
those here. I did see this one though. So he's Diesel's Fishing. But he said, Debo, do you fish Kitech paddle tails, weightless / weedless? I don't fish weightless paddle tails very often. I have done some with like just a weightless belly hook. You can catch fish on them, but I would rather throw like a frog in that case. I do throw Kitechs on, like a flashy swimmer or like a belly weighted swim bait hook a lot. I was going to say something else, and I don't remember where I was going with that. But yeah, worming one of those like a weightless paddle tail through the pads and stuff can be a
Ooh.
killer way to catch good like topwater fish though. But I don't do it a ton. I would, like I said, I'd rather throw like that flapping frog this year, for example. You can just reel it over all that stuff, and it's pretty weedless. The thing that I don't like, I think that's what I was going to say. The thing I don't like about a lot of those, like even with the screw-in hook, like once you rig that swim bait up and drag it through the weeds and stuff, I feel like those hits you still miss quite a few fish, even with like a single weedless hook. Or like Randy, you could throw. I know you're a big fan of like the rage toad, like those soft plastic like
Mm-hmm.
flapping frogs, like a
Yeah.
horny toad or like a ribbit toad. That's usually what I throw over a swim bait, but I think it probably just depends, kind of on the person.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let me grab these two donations and make sure I call them out. I always appreciate anybody who donates. I don't ask you all to, but by
Jeez.
golly, I appreciate the heck out of
Where
anybody
the hell
that
did that go?
does.
Oh, there.
Um,
God. The first one,
Nick,
9:42-ish from Nick.
got it.
Yep.
Yep. Anybody got suggestions for a lure retriever? So I don't know if you're talking from the bank or from a boat. The problem with a lure retriever from the bank, like if you've got like a knocker type thing, I've got like the lure dog retriever dog thing. Essentially, you
It's
put it
a
on your line.
retriever.
Yeah, it's a dog. It's a retriever dog. Get it? Because it's a retriever. But you hold your line up. You throw it down the line, and it's supposed to knock into your plug, your crankbait, whatever it
To hit
is.
the structure slash lure or structure and lure at the same time and like kind of pop it loose, right?
So it's supposed to hit the lure is really what it's supposed to hit. Some of them have like
Okay.
little chains and stuff that will like get wrapped up in the lure and you can pull it free. The problem with bank fishing though is because you're casting out and bringing stuff from the deep up into the shallow. You're usually, if I can show this, you're usually hooked on the backside of something. So like
Yep.
your hooks are back here. So if you send the lure retriever, oftentimes you're hitting the log or the structure in the front of it. So they don't work the best. But I mean, there's a number of them out there. A knocker, like a plug knocker like that is good to have just to try. I will say that my dad has like one of the hard, like telescopic handle lure retrievers that you like wrap around your line and you actually push it down and can feel stuff. That one is pretty nice. But from the
That seems a
boat,
little almost like a golf ball retriever type of thing, minus the little hook at the or the little cup at
yep,
the end.
yep. That is handy, but I know dad's like busted parts of the plastic and then the whole thing's kind of shot. I don't know if he
Mm-hmm.
bought another one, but like the plug knockers are good because if you're in a boat, you can get right over it or you can go past it and you can send it down. So
Yeah.
from a boat, I would say
Whatever
like,
whatever you do, don't unhook your reel and huck your rod in there after your lure. There's I don't think personally I would ever be throwing a lure that is waste or that is, worth breaking the tip off of my rod to do it. Um,
yeah, I would
I
never
would
do
say
that
either,
either.
yeah, if you can't get it out, do the pop, do the whatever method, and hopefully that works for you. If not, if you have one of those, great, give it a shot, but don't ever chuck your rod in there.
Okay, Dave W with a $10 bomb. I would toast you, but I am out of the drink. $10, which I appreciate that. Thank you. Catch a 10-pound bass or a 45-inch pike. Oh man. So I would say because bass fishing is that much like harder around here, I think I could go places like north, not too far from me, and probably catch some really big pike. I'm not saying a
Oh yeah.
45 incher. I know we have a place here in Palo, which is a town like 30 minutes from me, which is like one of the best muskie fisheries in the state. And there's consistently 40 inchers caught out of there and some 50 inchers, not pike, but muskie. So I think I could catch a big fish like that if I really, 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 really tried. As far as
I
the
don't think you would
Esox
have to
group,
really try that much. I think you could
45
easily
incher, 45
hit
inch
a
is big.
45.
That's big.
I
That's
I
a
think you
really
could
big
do it.
fish.
That's
I'm saying that's more realistic than catching a 10-pound bass around here. So like if I'm ever going to catch a 10-pound bass, I'm going to have to go to like a good fishery because I'm obviously not the world's best angler to be
I
like,
mean,
oh, I
I
can go to
know
anybody water and catch the biggest fish. Like I'm going to have to go somewhere, catch a good 10-pounder.
what were some of those good, green dock when we hit that up when it was really popping off. Some of those pike had to be getting
Mid
pretty
30s,
damn close to okay.
but that's
And we're
common. Mid
we're
30s are common. Like once you
go
get over
go a
40
little bit
inches,
north.
that's huge.
I think you could do it easy. I think that's a much easier. Well, shit. It's like, do you go north a bunch to catch one, or do you go south a bunch to catch another? It's a
I
catch
don't
twenty
I
two.
don't think it's as easy as you would think. It's more attainable here because we definitely have them.
Yeah.
Like I could throw a stone to like a few of those and catch like good pike and stuff, but like the chance of me catching a 10-pound bass anywhere around here, like
Does
not
this like give or
attainable.
take, or this question here, does it have anything to do with like Babe Winkleman and the amount of chest hair and gold chains that he has on catching a pike? Because if
I don't
that's the
know.
case, done deal. You're going to do it all day long, every day.
I wish. If only. If only I could be as handsome as old Babe Winkleman.
He's got a great head
Okay.
of hair on him, Babe Winkleman does.
Okay, let's see. So let's do our giveaway and then we'll do a couple more questions. Hang out. We've still got 230 people watching, which blows my mind. Love you guys. Ton of fun. We're still talking about Babe Winkleman and people are watching. They're like,
Can you get Babe Winkleman on
what the
here?
hell's going on with these guys?
That'd be
Okay, so
amazing.
let's see.
Hey, if you
So
guys haven't, just real quick, Debo, if you guys haven't hit that like button, guys, 235 of us in here, 162 likes. Debo does a lot. I don't want to ever say that I take the guy for granted, but he always makes sure and hooks me up with good stuff and gives me some of them fancy baits he makes, and he's a good guy. Help him
I
out.
appreciate you, Randall. As much as I give you crap, you do. Even if you show up late, you come bringing a more knife for me. So I felt kind of bad picking on you, but
You're
okay.
lucky I didn't kick you in.
I didn't really slip. I think you might have kicked me, and I think this was all planned. Okay, so let's grab our giveaway winner for this one. Make sure I'm sharing.
You have an emergency change of clothes box in your truck.
I've fallen in like 3 times and not like up to my pants enough to be like where I need to change. Jeff Ross, Mr. Jeff Ross, you are the winner. Jeff, you need to be here. Jeff, let's
Jeff, are
check
you in
just
the
to make
chat?
sure.
If Jeff is not in here in 3, 2, 1, it goes to me. Jeff's not here, it's mine.
And moving on. Sorry. So let's see. I do need to move over to comments. There we go. So Jeff, are you in here?
Jeff, he's here. 9:53. Jeff is here. Oh, Jeff, he's here. No big deal. Congrats, Jeff, on an awesome lure.
Okay, Jeff Ross. Is Jeff in here? Have you seen him, Randall?
He is. He's
He is.
here.
Okay. So Jeff, if you would
9:53.
perfect. If you would send me a screenshot of your YouTube so I know it's you and email me at debosfishing@gmail.com. I will get that packaged up for you and some other lures and send those out because we're having fun. Okay. Let's do a few more questions. What do we have for this or that? So what do we have for questions that you all are dying to know that you got to know out of me and Dizzle tonight? I know I've skipped over some people. I'm sure there was some really good questions and stuff in here, but man, the chat just rolls so quick. And I don't ever want to tell you all not to chat so much because I love it that people are like, there's side conversations going in here. People are meeting each other, hanging out. It's fun. Love it.
So a couple of them that I've seen here, they're just kind of funny. First of all, Joshua Babe Winkleman. Come on now, Babe Winkleman. Look him up if you don't know. Randall Pink Floyd says, "My chance of getting a 10-pounder is equal to dating a supermodel."
I saw
Come
that's
on,
what I had up
man.
here now.
You're much easier dating a supermodel than a 10-pounder.
Let's see. Oh, hey, look at this. Thai carbide. My friend caught a 48-inch muskie out of McBride on a walking bait
Ooh,
as his first muskie. Holy crap.
man, could you imagine that blow up?
I couldn't, dude. I couldn't imagine a 48-inch muskie hitting my topwater walking bait.
It's like one of those giant catfish that they do the psh, 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 psh
Oh, yeah.
lures
What the
on.
hell? That stuff's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay, let's see. So I see we got that's Arthur. I recognize that logo up there. I see we got one. Okay. Fish Daddy 401, aka Arthur, aka supporting some small bait makers, doing all kinds of fun stuff over in that area. Okay, so every time you fish, you have to eat a whole bag of those orange circus peanuts. Jesus, dude. Or you'll
Ooh,
only catch dinks. What do you do? Oh, that's easy. I will only catch dinks because A, that's already
you
what
already
I'm
do that.
doing. Yeah. And B, those circus peanut things are freaking horrible. I hate any of that cheap, gross candy stuff. It's just,
Like, I feel
oh,
like I feel like if I have one, I'm like, "Man, that is awesome. That tastes good." And then, like, halfway through, like, chewing it up, I'm like, I don't know. Let me try a second." And I'm like, I don't even get the second one in, and I'm like, "That's too much. It's just too much. Get this why is this in my mouth right why did I eat a third one? What am I doing?"
yeah, I wouldn't even get to that point. Arthur, yeah, I mean, I ain't touching those orange circus peanuts. I hate those freaking things. And it seems like
Alright,
they're
I'd heat bag.
always stale. Like they're always like hard. And they're supposed to be like
That
foamy, like soft, like
I think that's the way that they're designed.
yuck. Here's an interesting one. John, if you could go back in time and give your younger self a new bait from
Mm,
today, what would it be? I think so. When I was younger, cast and retrieve stuff was king because I didn't know what I was doing half the time. I think a
yep.
Whopper Plopper would have been fun when I was younger. Everybody wouldn't have them then, so they couldn't have lost their luster like some people still say today.
Mhm.
They've lost their luster. Dude, they still work. So I think like a Plopper or Chapo, I think that'd be fun. Cast those out. People be like, oh, what's that cool bait?
Man, because it's hard for me to, like, really answer a question like that because I don't know, like, baits that well, like, what you would and, like, when they came out versus, like, "Oh, that thing's" because apparently, like, a chatterbait, for instance, has been around for forever, and, like, me showing that to a younger me is like, "Oh, that thing's been out forever. Why would I use this? It sucks." But I think I'm gonna be on the same page as you and say, like, some kinda top water or, like, even, it's just a buzzbait, but that jackal has, like, the firecracker jackal has
Hmm.
that little bit of extra something in there. I would say, some sorta top water something because maybe I'd get more on the Debo train with the top water than what I am now.
You still catch topwater. Okay, I've got this one. Then I've got fish in the southeast next because that's kind of an interesting one that I haven't played enough with. Okay, soft baits only for the rest of your life or hard baits? I would say soft baits because I feel like when the hard baits aren't working, like soft baits are kind of a crutch in a lot of ways for me. Texas rig, weightless soft baits, like I feel like they're always a go-to. Whereas sometimes hard baits are either that bite's like fully on, or it's in a place where I can't even throw them, or they're not on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say a
So I'd
soft
say
bait
soft
just
baits.
just for that simple fact alone. It's like there's a lot of times you can't throw a hard bait into the spots that
Well,
the fish are
that's
in,
top water and stuff too, though. Actually, now that I say that, so that's no top water walking baits, poppers,
But
whopper poppers, like
you could burn any of those topwater baits and you could still fish them on top. I think a soft bait's probably the go-to on that in that
yeah. I think
case.
I'd have to pick soft bait though. I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe that wasn't a good idea, but fish in the southeast, this or that, red or orange for hard baits in the spring and fall. So I am still relatively new to the whole red craze. That's been like, I don't know what, 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, Rain and I didn't really believe in the red thing. It was a red lipless day. I
Yeah.
still remember the day I was joking about it. I'm like, I'm going to tie on a red lipless because they're the bee's knees and everybody says they're so good in spring. Those people are silly. And I caught the snot out of him that day on a red lipless. And
And I
that kind
said,
of,
Debo, you're a dummy. I'm not even taking my crankbait rod with
yeah, I'm
me.
not even taking my lipless setup. Yeah, I didn't believe in the whole red thing for a long time. And since then, I've started throwing it in the spring. Now, again, it's only been like a spring thing for me. I don't get it out in the fall. Maybe I'm missing stuff, but I don't know. Like there's a period around here, like a couple week period, if we hit the window where Rainey and I can get
Yeah.
on a killer lipless bite, and we've hit it almost every year. I don't think we had a good one this year, did we?
Mm-mm. It's like you have
I
to
don't
hit
think
the
so.
window and you have to be able to find that spot.
Yeah.
That certain that it's not even that spot as far as this lake at this specific time. It's any body of water that has this type of, this type of structure, not
This
structure, but like
vegetation in this
grass line.
specific
Yeah.
spot, and it changes so much. Like the lakes that we've had
Yep.
have shifted so much over the last, like, just even since we've been
Hmm.
fishing them. Like, and I was fishing them before you, and like even that, like the places around here, not your places, I mean, but like the places around me have changed so much. And then even the spots that we fished together have, like, it's just crazy. So
Hey, I was
yeah, I
doing
don't
this
know.
bow shoot one time and there was this frog pond.
Oh
I don't
my
know if you
God,
want to check.
shut up, Randy. I wish somebody was at your place to kick you in the water now. Okay, one more question. Let's do one more question, then we're getting out of here. Let's see. Do you see a good one? We'll each do one. How about that? We'll each do one more question.
Um, mine 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. on the dot, fishing the southeast, this or that. Fish a pond with one fish in it that is the world record largemouth bass, or fish a pond where they're only bite on a drop shot, but you could get a fish every 15 casts. It's a mouthful.
So that's a problem because if I caught a world record largemouth bass, people would have expectations of me. And I'd be like, listen, this pond was the size of my girl's pool, and it was the only fish in there, and I got lucky and caught it. So I don't want that kind of pressure. I'm going with fish every 15 casts and have a fun day.
But at the same time, it's not saying that you're never going to catch any other fish besides that fit. Oh, it actually does say, my bad. I'm going to fish every 15 seconds or 15 casts because you don't know what those fish are going to be. And I mean, I'll retie that drop shot.
Yeah, I'm going drop shot fish. I'll become a drop shot master. Forced to. Okay, so let me see. I'm the last question here. Okay, what do we got?
Hmm. Yeah, I don't want that pressure of
Uh,
that one fish because everybody else is going to be like, "Hey,
yeah.
why don't you do that
Oh,
again? Catch
yeah.
that again? Why don't you? You
Remember
probably
that one
foul
time
hooked it,
Debo got
nerd."
lucky and caught the world record, and since then, 5 years ago, he's never caught a bass over 2 pounds?
Like
What
how
an
you're like,
idiot.
"Oh, I caught this really big fish, but I foul hooked it in the tail," and I'm like, "Oh, I caught an even bigger fish and I caught it in the mouth."
No, I
What
don't
up
remember
now?
that. You didn't even want to
I
touch
got
it
the
or pictures
footage.
of it, so it doesn't exist in my brain.
It was gross. It was like my line that was disgusting. Ugh.
Okay, Nathan Hovey, last question of the live. This or that. Use only crappie baits or saltwater baits? So
Crappie
this
baits,
is this is a kind of
100%.
interesting one because I think you're the choice of baits, you're going to be able to have like a far bigger choice in the crappie stuff that would work in the bass world. However,
But you don't
um,
know. You don't know
I
for
don't,
sure.
I don't. That's why I said however. Like super spook, the
Ooh.
saltwater super spooks are awesome. I know Bill Lewis makes some rattle traps that are saltwater specific that are pretty sick. So I feel like there might be some hidden jewels, but for the most part, I think like a 3-inch crappie bait, you could get away with like finesse fishing and yeah, I don't know.
One of
I
the
think you just
bigger
got
smallmouths I've ever caught, we were crappie fishing. And granted, it wasn't a crappie jig, it was a crappie setup floating. I was actually floating a minnow,
meaners and
and
bobbers.
I stuck a giant smallie on super light line on an ultralight, and it was amazing. Before we go, Mike Vogel did ask a great question, I think,
What time?
with just 10:03, just
Oh,
because
okay.
it's the season.
Yeah,
We
okay.
got to
One on
end
this
on
one
it.
since it's Halloween. Worst horror movie you're embarrassed to admit you love. Oh man, I'm not embarrassed to admit any of that. I love horror movies, especially the old funny ones. Like they're so corny that they're bad.
What was straight
Troll
out the
2. The Gate. Okay, so yeah, dude, I went down this rabbit hole of watching
Right.
every bad horror movie I could. So Troll 2 actually has like a whole cult following as being the
Mhm.
the best worst movie ever. So if you've never watched
Oh,
Troll 2, watch it. The Gate is
what
what
was
Randy was talking about. Dyke Mama straight out the shotgun case hand bite.
Handbite?
I watched The Gate, scared the hell out of me when I was younger, and I went back and watched it now, and the acting in it is so bad, it's horrific. Last night I actually rented The Lost Boys, $3.99 on
Ooh,
Amazon,
did you
because
did
my
you see
old
what I was talking about?
no, because my old lady had never seen it. We rented The Lost Boys, and she's like, after it was over, I was like, "What'd you think, honey?" Because she liked all the Twilight movies and all that crap. I'm like, "Honey, vampires don't fricking sparkle in the sun. Those are not real vampires. Watch The Lost Boys." She never would. I forced her to sit down and watch it, and afterwards she said that was a waste of $3.99. I'm like, "Oh, I need a divorce." I'm like,
Okay,
that's
so at the beginning of that movie, there is a man as they're swooping in from the up
oh
above. He's
playing,
playing the saxophone. He's
yeah.
got on, I think, a mesh tank top, and he's got a sick permed mullet, and I just gotta say it, he's air thrusting while he's playing the saxophone,
I did.
and
We just talked about that and didn't even notice it. There was a lot of stuff as
I
they were
can never
flying
get that
over
guy out of my
the
head.
boardwalk.
Just saying.
I don't know.
I'm going way back, way back to 1987. A little movie called Bad Taste. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson, that was his first movie he made. Bad Taste. Aliens, like British movie. Some guy gets his head cracked open and he's got to use his belt to keep his brains in his skull. It's Bad Taste. Look it up. It's amazingly awesome.
Aaron has definitely
Jordan
seen
Fadeaway.
Troll 2. Oh my god, not Troll 2. Josh was that dude loved Troll 2. And the first one, funny, how about this? The first one,
Oh,
original Troll had a guy in it whose name was Harry Potter, one of the people. And if there's also a bunch of Leprechaun. I love the Leprechaun movies. Love the hell
uh,
out of those.
Leprechaun in the Hood, hilarious.
Dude, they're all
Uh,
hilarious.
Creek and Trails hits on Dead Snow 2. I've never seen Dead Snow 2. I've seen the first one, and that is ridiculous. I'm a pretty big fan of the zombie movies, so I've got a lot of those really off the wall. I have this one like Australian zombie movie where a guy makes a quadruple shotgun out of a regular shotgun. He's got like somehow four shotguns attached together, and at the end of the day, it was just God trying to save everybody is what was happening, and he turned people into zombies. It was a great movie.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Everett nailing it. That was oh my gosh. So many fun ones. Okay, listen.
Ridiculous.
We are past time. We're at 2 hours. Fun live tonight. Happy Halloween, everybody. Be safe out there.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate y'all. Love y'all for watching. But we're out until next week. So thanks for watching. And until next time.